Harley race. It's like him shaking his fist at the Harleys come by.
Hey everyone, we are here. I can't say live anymore. We're not live anymore.
No. Live to tape.
Live to tape for Tornado Tag Podcast. Not a lot to cover, but we're gonna stretch it out. We'll stretch it out. We have no topics, so we're gonna wing that a little bit. Now that we have some new blood on the team, we're gonna try to do some different things. Having somebody who's in other podcasts such as yourselves, we kind of bounce ideas off each other. How can we, things that work for other shows or how we can do it. So, this show in Not Cool in High School, we're going to try to maybe prep a little more or come in with a little more of a game plan. So you see, there's a notebook here.
Oh,
I know we don't do notebooks.
Structure.
We're going to have a little bit of structure. I kind of like that we wing it, but I'm a 50-50. As you know, we made an announcement the other day where this show was going to air a week after we recorded it. That's already scrapped. We changed more times than the Viking Warriors got names.
Just do the old Eddie Guerrero. Tell people you lied. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
no matches during commercials.
Yeah, so that should have been our new podcast name. No matches during commercials. It's a great podcast name, by the way. Someone can
We
have
should
that.
do commercials during this show and just talk about the really good stuff during the commercials.
Yeah. We're back from commercial. Don't worry, we were in a stronghold for that entire time.
It was that rear chin lock.
Yeah.
The Baron
And he
Corbin
just put
special.
the top wrist lock for about 15 seconds,
Yeah.
and then we'll have a read for like Blue Apron or something.
So
Blue Chew.
this episode, all this stuff now is going to air on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Not Cool in High School, we're on Thursdays. My sleep schedule is going to be screwed because I'll be up very late doing this stuff, but it's okay because we're doing it for you guys. We're doing it for the fans. So you guys that tune in and keep this up, man. It's the reason why I stay up super late and get the edits done because I love the fact that you guys are about this and listen.
I'm doing it for that Blue Chew money.
Yeah.
I just wait for that Blue Chew ship to come in.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Do you want to rock hard, dick?
So
Who doesn't?
Let's get into some sponsors and some plugs real quick in the beginning, and then we'll end with some as well. But first thing is check out Skookstock.
Hey, who made the art? I want to ask you that.
That's from
awesome.
Abaddon Studios
Oh, really?
Tattoo Shop. Yeah, it came out really good, right?
Yeah. When did you just get that? Yesterday or today?
That was today.
Wow.
So we were thinking about putting it on a T-shirt, but I don't think we're going to do it because there's a lot of colors and stuff. So
I mean, you'd have to put on a white shirt.
yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to put that on a print, like a poster, so people can buy the print at the thing and maybe even get it signed by some of the band. And then we'll just have the normal bird shirt for a T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
So Skookstock, August 24th, bigtickets.com, or check us out on Facebook. Tickets are still available. Get them now because, like I said, we're only selling a limited amount now, pre-order, because if we get bad weather or there's going to be a day where we can't go outdoors, we're moving indoors and we can only put so many people in there. The day of, if it's beautiful, we'll open up the ticket sales again and we can let more people flock in. But for now, please get your tickets now because they will go quick. Want to give a quick call out to a few different podcasts that help us out, plug us, and we want to plug them. First and foremost, all your G1 coverage for now. And they also do wrestling too, so it's a wrestling mix with a little. It's kind of like the mix between Not Cool in High School and our Tornado Tag.
Maybe just comics.
But it mostly just comics, yeah. But it's Call It in the Power Ring, and that is Andy Heder and his partner Matt Turner. I always say Andrew.
But that's his real name, so.
Oh yeah.
Don't
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah.
I won't bleep it
It's
out,
okay.
but yeah. So Matt Turner, yeah. And so it's pretty much the blue and gold team.
Yeah,
the podcast. Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
And wrestling. And yeah, we'll go through almost all the matches.
You guys should get a Call in the Power Ring shirt and wear it out to the ring. Like, here's our podcast.
Yeah, that's with the logo they made.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on Anchor so you can search for us there and just call it a Power Ring. You want to do Podcast Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
'Cause they had something with the login trouble because a couple guys use it and post stuff and then it wasn't working. And so I was like, you know what, just do my own thing.
Do you still have all the files for every episode?
Yeah, I do. I think.
It'll be easy to go right to Gods.
But I mean, even if you can't get the old episodes,
How many are you in?
59 or something like that.
That's not
This
terrible.
is 59.
It won't be
I
terrible.
mean, like, who really cares about the news that was in wrestling 7 weeks ago?
That's
you
true.
know?
Just be
You
like
know?
Call in the Power Ring episode 1.
Now it's switchy, yeah.
Yeah, episode 1.
And this is the time to get in on it too. The G1 is heating up. This is a great time to check that out.
Yeah.
It's right smack in the middle.
We will
Actually,
talk a little.
actually
We will
going
talk a little
down.
G1, but
Yeah,
I
plug
want
some of them pages / podcasts.
Yeah, So I will talk a little
Okay,
G1,
good.
but that's where I want you to go for most of your G1 coverage.
Yeah.
We want to spread some
We're
love.
gonna cover it all.
Yeah, we want to spread some love to other people because people work hard, and I'm all about content creators. So definitely we will have that as well. Second one we're going to talk about is Murder My Dude. Brian here, or BP Burke, as you
Hey.
know him on Murder My Dude.
Speaking of fake names,
That's his gimmick name. Spoiler alert. Check out their podcast
every
on-
Monday.
Yeah, every Monday.
Project2million.com, any iTunes, Apple Podcasts, you name it, Murder My Dude. You can find it pretty easily. This week, this Monday, Appalachian Trail
Yeah.
is going to be coming
Ooh,
up. This
that's
past
cool.
week was the Son of Sam.
The previous one with Summer Sam was a great episode.
We did the Hollywood Ripper before that.
That was
Before
a good
that
one.
was the Direct Declaration of the Independence Day. Which
You
was
might
the
be
wrestling
the
themed one.
first podcast where I may subscribe to Patreon. I'm
We
like,
still don't have those uploaded either. We have to get moving
so
on that.
if I subscribe, I won't even get to hear it.
You
No,
might. You
we're
get
gonna-
get
we're-
you
we're
get
gonna
access
get those
to the ability to
All
hear
right,
it.
because here's the thing, I really really enjoy your podcast. And I'm not saying it because you're my buddy.
Just give me $2 and
Yeah.
I'll email you the files.
Like
Yeah, there you go.
I sincerely enjoy it. Like there's not many podcasts that
You look forward to coming out.
I look forward to coming out, and I'm physically caught. Like I'm not even caught up in a TV show I enjoy,
Wow.
but I'm caught up on their Like I literally binge listened to it for like 2 weeks
To catch up,
and
yeah.
caught up like what 20 some episodes.
Yeah.
Because I would message you
He
like,
marathons like a Netflix show.
yeah,
Wow.
I marathoned his podcast, and then now I'm current.
Yeah.
Like I don't listen the day it comes out on Monday because Monday's usually my running around day. What time do they upload on Mondays?
Whenever I get around to it.
So
That's
Whenever I remember to
That's
do
how
it.
I well,
Usually it's during Raw. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't upload the podcast.
yeah, so that's why another reason why I don't listen on Mondays because like when I'm driving around doing my things, it's not usually not uploaded. But I do listen to it. It's a great podcast. It's really entertaining. Him and his co-host, the man of 1,000 names,
Jackson Wells.
Jackson Wells.
Wells.
Totally a real name.
Yeah, totally real name. They're just really good at what they do. They have great chemistry. They've been friends for a long time. And if you
Maybe
if
too long.
Yeah, if you're into the podcast and you're into that, we will be having them on the show as well. They're going to be the first.
About 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, they're going to
2
be.
weeks.
I think technically that'll be the first podcast thing we did with another podcast.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you guys are the first ones we did it
I'm
with.
honored.
Yeah. So yeah, another podcast who shows us a lot of love, and we want to do the same thing is the Wicker Turtle Network guys. They work a lot with PPW. They do a lot of really cool stuff there. They do everything from food reviews. They're right now that the Turtle is actually doing a weight loss challenge,
Yeah.
which I am silently participating in with him. He just doesn't know it. I have to start making some videos. I can't do a daily vlog,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna do like snippets here and there and just tag him and be like, hey, this is because I'm being honest. Like he's inspiring me. Like he wants to legit
That's
make
good.
a change, and I'm gonna do it with him. So I'm a silent partner in his
Which
weight
was that,
loss.
Alex or?
The Penguin, yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
Not Alex.
I forget. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names as well.
Yeah.
It's on the top of my head.
Just
but
give him a
I don't-
gimmick name.
Yeah.
The Penguin. The Penguin's
The
his
guy
gimmick
that's not
name.
Alex.
Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah.
Oswald Kalapa. I want to say his name, and I think I'm pretty sure it's correct.
And he has glasses. I can see him.
It's Paul.
Paul. Okay.
The reason why I always meant because I always think no, that's not Paul. It's Paul Bow.
No, okay.
Two
Yeah,
Pauls.
yeah.
Paul Thomason. So check out them, the Wicked Turtle. They do movie reviews. They go in the movie, and they do a lot of
Food
wrestling
reviews,
stuff.
yeah.
They do a lot of cool stuff. The Far From the Left Side podcast. You know a little more about
Well,
this one.
that's just a Facebook page. That.
Yeah, but it's a Facebook page that talks wrestling news.
Yeah, and a lot of local, like independent news she
Mhm.
shares. Yeah. So
They're
that's-
awesome.
Really goes to all the shows in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area.
Yep.
And
And
I
then-
don't know if she runs it with somebody else. I know she does, but yeah, she always shares my matches and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll definitely try to have her on soon.
Yeah.
Try to get her on the show. Another one is out of the area. They cover all the independent stuff, which I'm super fan of. I'm a fan of that. Is Smart Mark Alley. They do have news as well, and the discussion board where you can chat.
and they're like
really
in
cool.
sport.
Yeah. Then we have 10-8 round is no longer a thing with us, but it is flourishing somewhere else. Tyler, who was a part of 10-8 round with us, who I have nothing but good thing to say about a work ethic. What he brought a great work ethic. He was reliable. He showed up to every show. He was really good at what he did. He's a huge wrestling fan as well as sports fan. I mean, he's a jack of all trades when it comes to sports. He has a page that he helps run called All Things Wrestling, and he's also a part of a page called Out of the Box Wrestling. So if you want to get some more wrestling news, there's some times where I'll pull some stuff from them as well as the other pages I mentioned just to put it on our page so I can remember to talk about it. But they all do great jobs, and I want to give them their due. And then we're going to do this for next week's show. pro wrestling scorecards. Love this a lot. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time doing it. We pick the matches and then we find out who the champion is. Currently, because we've been taking a huge hiatus with pro wrestling scorecards, Austin's been our longest reigning champion, but he's kind of like the Iconics where he hasn't defended it yet. So he's going to defend it this weekend. It's going to be a combined score because we're going to do next weekend because we're going to do a combined score of SummerSlam and Takeover.
It's an exciting takeover.
Yeah.
It's the first takeover in years where they're going to have 2 women's matches on the main card.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't really. I haven't been following NXT, so I have no idea. Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, no, Io will be
Mia
wrestling.
Yim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Io and Candice LeRae.
Oh, okay.
Well, Io has the gimmick now where she's like dark, right?
Yeah,
she's dark
she's
hair.
Psycho now. It's
She's
great.
bad guy Io.
I gotta say, here's my confession.
There's so much going on.
I don't watch NXT. I just wait for takeovers.
I just watch takeovers. I've fallen out of the weekly episodes.
Yeah.
I do want to check out this week's. I haven't yet, just because Pete Dunne and Roddy Strong just sounds amazing, and I want to watch it.
Pretty good.
And then they're going to be in a three-way
matches.
too.
Yeah. Well, the rumor is that NXT's on Wednesdays, and then AEW's going to be on Wednesdays. So they're going to compete with
at the same time because AEW's going to be 8 to 10.
And the talk is NXT might be going to FS1.
I would go FX1 on Thursdays. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but you know how they're going to be. They're going to go head to head.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. And then our stuff, obviously. Go check out Interviews with Everyday People. We have 2 interviews that just went up now. I'm a psycho. I did one on Monday, and one on Tuesday. 2 really good ones. I had the band Light Up the Moon, and I had a guy who's part of a group called Ruthless Performance. And what he's doing is pretty much just biking around. He's biking from the Golden Gate Bridge back to Pottsville, Pennsylvania on a bike over 4,000 miles.
Oh my God.
And he's going to drive that far.
And John, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name because I'll butcher it, but he's doing it.
Johnny Two Wheels.
Yeah, Johnny Two Wheels. He's doing it for Hillside SPCA and Back in Black Dog Rescues. Fun fact: I've been calling it Black Dog Rescues because it's still it's Black Dog ACDC, Back in Black AC. Black Dog Led Zeppelin, Back in Black ACDC. Yeah. So I just kind of put them together. But check out that
Dog.
Yeah, Back in Black Dog. So check that podcast out. That was a lot of fun. He's doing it for a great cause. He also has a donation page going right now, and all the proceeds go to the ride as well as the charities for the 2 dog foundations. Now,
and speaking of donation pages, Tony, there's another one to plug too, right?
Ours.
Exactly.
Yes.
There you go.
So we have a donation page. If you want to help us grow, it is in the link below, the PayPal account. Anything helps. We definitely have a lot of visions to go the next route. I'm actively working on it. It's not like I'm sitting on my hands saying, give me money, and that's the only way I'm going to get better. I'm still doing it, but if you want to help that process go faster, check us out.
This guy has a master plan. I heard all about it. There's some exciting stuff in the pipeline.
Listen,
very exciting
He's
stuff.
supposed to buy a bunch of wacky beers. For
I want to just get wacky beers. No, I want to be able to take this on the road more. And to do that, it's very difficult, and to keep the quality up, because we've been offered to go to a lot of really cool places and I like the idea that we can create more content with other content creators.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to bring stuff. So the idea I have is the equipment I'm getting is very high quality, but it's also very convenient to take it on the road. So it's a lot of really cool stuff that we had in the works. If you want to help that process get faster, you can do that by giving us a donation page. We have news today. I'll let one of you take it because I've been talking way too much. We had a death in wrestling.
Yeah,
a very big one too.
Yes.
One of the all-timers.
Harley Race, which I've never watched too much, I'll admit, because he's a
only
little bit before my time. When he came, I was really young in WWE, and I didn't get NWA.
I mainly remember the King
Harley Race.
Yeah.
You know? So
him and Haku in that first Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that's a very old Harley
seen
Race.
him win the NWA title on the network and everything, and then lose it to Dusty or Ric Flair at that first Starrcade. But
I was watching a promo from when he put the bounty on Ric Flair, just $25,000, and just a serious looking man, just one of those guys.
They said he was legit tough.
Oh yeah,
he
was still a holdover from that time where you had to be.
Yeah,
that's when you had guys like Jack Briscoe and guys like that who could take that title if they had
get
to.
in a bar fight and kick everyone's ass.
Yeah,
and they said even when he was managing Vader in WCW, they're like, well, if Vader didn't beat shit out of Harley.
He would come in and he would rough people up.
Yeah, he was a wrestler, promoter, and trainer, so he was a jack of all trades.
Yeah, world level wrestling was his thing.
I think he was NWA champion for like 2-3 years.
I don't have a championship.
7 times?
NWA champion. He was the first NWA champion. Um,
Well, no, not first.
Orville Brown was the first.
Not the first.
all right,
That-
so
that'd
this
be
is
like
this is
19
this is Wikipedia. So promotions he was in was NWA, AWA. He was in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWE, WWF, now WWE. He was in WCW. He was in WWA. He was in NWA again.
He was basically the NWA's cornerstone throughout like most
Okay,
of the 70s.
this is where I was
70s
wrong.
and
So he
80s.
was the world heavyweight champion 8 times in NWA, and he was the very first NWA United States heavyweight
Oh,
champion.
okay.
Oh, wow.
And he was a big part of the Kansas City territory. That was his
Yep.
home base, and yeah, he was like the cornerstone. You had Terry Funk, you had the Briscoes,
Yeah.
you had Dory Funk Jr. But throughout the 70s, throughout that, what a lot of people think of as a golden age, from like, post Lou Thez but pre Ric Flair,
Mm-hmm.
Harley Race was the man.
Yeah.
He,
With his big
while Bruno
sideburns.
Yeah,
while
he-
Bruno Sammartino was tearing up the Northeast, you had Harley Race with his big afro and his sideburns.
Yeah.
Bruno was your Hulk Hogan that everyone just knew about, but Harley Race was your workhorse who put your matches
That's
in.
what they always said. Like the NWA was always like the
Yeah.
wrestling federation.
Yeah.
And we watched the actual matches.
Race was one of 6 men to be inducted into each of the WWE Hall of Fame, NWA Hall of Fame, Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, and the Wrestling Observer Hall
Yeah.
of Fame. So the dude wasn't a joke. I mean, I can go through a whole thing here, but his record speaks for itself. He was super talented.
One of the times I first got mad at other fans at a wrestling show was because of Harley Race.
Really?
Really?
It was at a Ring of Honor show at the Manhattan Center in New York.
Okay.
And it was the night they brought in Masawa.
Okay.
It was Mitsuharu
I
Masawa
went to the
against
Philly
Kenta.
show the next day.
Okay, yeah, there was a tag match, right?
Yeah, the day before. It was
Yeah.
one and the same.
This was him one-on-one against Kenta. And one of the other big matches they were doing that night, it was the Briscoes against Jimmy Jacobs and Tyler Black. And they had that one come on in the middle of the show, and they did a quick, like, BS 40-second DQ. And the crowd thought that's all they were going to get, so
Yeah.
they were just angry.
Yeah.
They didn't know they were bringing... just chanting bullshit and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And in the next segment, they're bringing out Harley Race, and as like a thing to give him an award. And the fans are just booing because they're still mad at the finish. Like, that's Harley Race in the ring. You can't.
Who are you?
Here's an interesting Harley Race story. So, Race married his first wife Vivian Jones in 1960. She died 5 weeks later in their wedding. After their wedding, in the same car crash, which nearly Race almost lost his leg.
Oh, that's crazy.
So he lost his wife in a car accident. It almost ended his entire career in 1960 because he would have lost his leg.
That must have been when he was real fresh. just starting.
He mentioned her in his autobiography, King of the Ring. His second marriage produced a daughter, Candice Marie.
Not Candice LeRae.
Not the one we, yeah.
Not Candice Michelle either.
Then he had his third wife.
A lot of them wrestlers back then had many wives.
Then his fourth wife.
Because they were on the road all the time.
Yeah.
But then I was like, why get married?
And then
Just-
his road wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his road
Flair's
wife.
on 5.
5 kids.
None of them ever wrestled, though.
No. He did do a lot of training, though, later on. I know he was pretty instrumental in Nigel McGuinness getting going
Oh, wow.
and really shaping him into
Yeah.
something. He was big in bringing Takashi Morishima over from
Yeah, he was in
Japan.
Japan.
Wow.
Yep. Over the years, he needed to repair his neck, his hips, his knees. Had 5 vertebrae in his back fused together. Broke both of his legs in a fall at his home at one time.
Probably
He
crawled to...
needed 4 blood transfusions.
Wow.
So I mean,
It took a lot to bring him
Yeah,
down.
he
He
was
was
a tough man.
guy.
Everyone
Yeah.
said how tough
Harley Race is no
very
joke,
tough.
man.
And the other thing I remember kind of dubious when they did that Secrets of Pro Wrestling revealed on
Oh,
NBC.
yeah. Yep.
He was the booker.
Yeah, that
and
was-
he was in it. They had him like his face blacked out, but you could tell by his face structure was Harley.
Yeah.
and he was the
Talks
only.
like this all the time. I think they might have had the warp figure goal.
But he still had the Harley Race
Yeah.
cadence, and I think he was the only person that nobody got mad at because the pit bulls did that thing.
Yeah,
and-
what are they going to do to him? Oh, they beat the shit out of him.
yeah.
I remember
It's
most
like
of
he's in his mid-60s. He'll
yeah,
still fight
yeah,
everybody.
most from managing Vader in WCW in the early
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
That's what I think a lot of the younger people.
and he was a very hands-on manager too.
yeah.
He would just get in there.
And
and
he'd
he
take
would-
that bump, but he'd just get punched with it. Whoa, do the big bump and like land on the apron.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
rest in
He
peace
was
to
what
Harley
was he?
Race.
6, 7, in the 70s.
70s.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
know he had
in the
bad
70s.
health for the past couple of years.
Retromania. There's a character for you.
Right? Yeah, I think you get Harley Race. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they tried.
Speaking of Retromania, in the links below is a cool video game coming out. Check out Retromania. It is
Retromania
it is a spawn of it's a love child
What do they
of
call that?
WrestleFest.
Oh, jeez, everyone know. It's like a term. The spiritual successor.
Spiritual
There you go.
successor, love child. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had this game when I was 7 years old, I would have saved so many quarters of my mom
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I pumped so much
Yeah.
money into that WrestleFest
Yeah.
Superstars.
It has been announced. It's officially coming to the Switch.
Mhm.
They are actually giving away a Switch Lite. I don't know all the details to the rules, but go to Retromania Studios on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and I think you have to go on their Twitter, like their page, retweet the tweet to win the one that retweet the one to
Maybe
win.
like do whatever on each page.
Yeah, and then you have an opportunity to win a
Switch.
Switch Lite and play the new game when it comes out.
That's cool, yeah.
We may or may not be in the works of getting a demo.
Yeah,
So-
which is awesome. And then the guys can come back on and tell us more about the game then.
Yeah. And they had a really good plug by Stevie Richards and a really cool RGTG or RGT on
Whatever it was,
YouTube.
yeah.
He does a lot of cool Nintendo Switch stuff, so
yeah,
go check
and
him
they're
out.
looking for what, the end of the year, I think.
Yeah, we'll stay on
Early
wrestling
next year.
We'll stay on wrestling video games. We did a little bit of this yesterday, but we'll do it here because it is still wrestling. WWE 2K20 is going to get some announcements on the 5th. Doesn't say what announcements, but it's going to get some announcements.
I've heard like the cover person. who's
Yeah.
gonna be,
So we talked about our predictions a little bit. Who do you think will be cover?
it's got to be Becky Lynch, right?
That's what we
It's gotta
said.
be Becky
We
Lynch.
said Becky.
I threw Ronda out there, but I think she was special order last year.
She was
Yeah.
DLC, I think, last year.
Yeah. Who would be the big DLC grab?
Let's see. It's hard because usually the person goes in the Hall of Fame, but that was DX, so you can't
Yeah.
really do
Yeah.
that. Who could you get?
I said Ken Shamrock. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
That's kind of, you kind of went through all the legends.
I wonder, and maybe not this year, but I wonder. I know he's not coming back, but would CM Punk ever do a deal to be back as a video game guy?
I don't know.
Because that's
Yeah.
usually done through
Yeah, they did that by their own, the company video
Yeah.
game.
through 2K. Yeah.
What if we get main character DLC this year? Vader.
I would love to have Vader in that game. He's been in some other ones
Yeah,
too.
he was in, I forget. Maybe
But
not last
it's
year,
always
'cause
weirder when they pass away because
You're like, man, we should have did it when he was alive.
well, he was in there. He was in he was a big part of the 1 year. I think it was the last year before the 2K. It was like WWE 12.
Yeah.
'Cause that was a story mode where the last thing you do as a creator wrestler is when where Austin Aries did the voice for Jacob Cass.
Yeah.
And part of that storyline is they're trying to bring back WCW when it's Vader and Kevin
Yeah.
Nash and Booker T.
Okay.
So he's been in there before, but
Yeah.
Vader is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, so I'd love to see it.
Who do you think is going to be the story mode this year? We got Daniel Bryant
That's
for
like Kofi.
Daniel Bryant.
Kofi Mania would be a good one.
Yeah, Daniel Bryant came back. He brought back the story mode last year.
Yeah,
Or
they should-
Becky Lynch.
They
You
should
could
have
do Becky
more.
Lynch
They
rise
should
to
have
the
more
top.
than one story.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. There's enough room in that game.
Let's just hope they didn't just because I honestly this is my
It's a
opinion.
Dolph Ziggler storyline.
If
and you lose all the
2K
time.
this year gives you a copy and paste game of last year's game, I think you're going to lose your fan base.
That's
I think people are.
I've kind of fallen out a couple years ago.
I did
Yeah.
too.
It's the
I
same
got it this year
shit.
because I got like a huge sale on it. But
Yeah, I think
it
this
took
is
a
the
while.
year if you don't come hard, you're gonna lose people.
Yeah.
Because you're already on the chopping block. And so another rumor I read that WWE is actually making two to possibly 3 games this year when it or not this year, but in the next in the next year to next year.
they want to flood that market before the AEW game.
Yeah,
hits.
so I heard they're going to make a more of an arcade style game, which is teasing maybe the AKI engine because they want to get there before AEW because AEW is working on the AKI
Which
engine
is
as
terrible.
well.
It's like you had 20 years to do it.
Yes, and now people are like, "Oh, well, if you're not going to cash in on something that was really successful,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, we're gonna.
we're going to." So that's
How dare you?
Yeah, that's a rumor, and then the rumor is that Here Comes the Pain is going to get an HD remaster.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
A lot of
Love
people.
it.
I think that was one that I skipped somehow. I think I
Here
played
Comes
that
the Pain
one
was excellent.
And here comes something super nerdy. I know later this year, at the beginning of next year, they're doing a new TEW game. The Total Extreme Wrestling, the
Oh,
text-based
okay.
one.
Oh,
used
really?
TEWR.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to buy it, but then it comes with like all these fictional wrestlers. You have to download the real-world
I
roster
remember there was,
pack.
I think the one game, something like that, it had like all the independent guys from the day.
Yeah,
of like the late 90s.
EWR was like the free one,
Yeah.
and then you could, and then eventually it went paid.
if you're a fan of wrestling and you're a fan of our boy Andy Header here,
Mhm.
our super fan of the podcast, Alexis. Sorry, I always do that. Alexa
It's-
Bliss.
I always, yeah.
Alexis.
Yeah,
Alexis.
Then there's
she-
another guy who, not to interrupt you, in True Wrestling, his daughter's Alexa, and
Yeah.
she's about the same age, so it's like, oh.
Yeah. So Alexis
So
actually made
Alexis-
the Andy Header character in the 2K games. She works really hard on that.
Did she make one?
Yeah, you're in 2K.
Because another guy made one too.
Yeah, so you're in
Yeah.
2K twice then by
Oh,
two different
okay.
people.
Wow.
And then Andy made himself in Fire Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I made myself. That's the most accurate, I would
yeah,
say.
he can get Fire Pro Andy. Just type in Andy Header in Fire Pro's database and
Yeah,
he shows
actually,
up. All right, that'll do it for video games. All right.
So no more wrestling video games coming out.
Wrestling video games are canceled.
Yeah, another podcast that we didn't get earlier, but this is more of a news story. I wouldn't say friend of the podcast. We're not super friendly yet, but I am a fan of hers. Met her mom, Adina Steele.
I was gonna say, where are we going with this?
Adina, well, you weren't there. You were working.
Yeah, and then she got interviewed by a local.
Yeah, so
I think that was actually a TV station, was it not?
I'm not sure, but the
I'll find out.
podcast has 4 episodes out, so they're still in the very beginning stages of a podcast. But the podcast is called Hey Beautiful. So I think
The girl that does it is so hot. I was like, oh my god,
Very beautiful girl.
I was like, I'm too mad. I can't even look at it.
So I believe it's more of like a beauty podcast, but
Yeah,
Adina.
because I think they talk makeup and stuff.
So
Hold on.
Adina is also a hairstylist and a personal stylist. So she talks about her wrestling career and how she got as a
yes.
cosmetologist.
Episode 3, The Beauty of Pro Wrestling with Brianna Spindler, aka Adina Steele, and I'll
Yep.
say that because that's the name of the show.
Yeah. So if you want to go check out maybe the different side of wrestling and hearing a story of somebody that maybe not focused on the wrestling aspect but more their personal life, go check that out. It looks like a good listen. I'm actually going to personally do that as well. Maybe that's what I'll listen
Yeah.
to tonight when I'm.
I just seen it. Must have just went up today. Yeah,
That's
episode
a
3.
totally
it's
new
called-
spin on it. That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's called
it's a
Hey
really good
Beautiful
idea.
by Gia Mazar, and I can't make her picture any bigger, but she's really smoking hot.
Yeah, that's kind of what interviews does. One day, we're hitting a lot of bands up, but every now and then we'll throw, like, we had Andy on as a wrestler. You learn a little bit about his life. Spoiler alert. Andy's,
Mine is the Weird Al of.
yeah, his is the Weird Al of the interviews. It was a great interview, but it was
It's
fun.
like Weird Al is like, I've never been arrested. I've never been arrested.
Yeah, he's like, I've never done anything.
I don't think you want to interview me.
That sounds like a sneak preview of my podcast.
He's like, I
I gotta have my co-host
I
on.
don't-
It's
I don't-
awesome.
I'm not in a relationship because if a girl tells me that she needs my attention and I want to go buy comic books, I'm just gonna break up with her.
Do it.
Here's independent news.
Anyway, yeah, check out that
Yeah.
interview with Adina Steele.
Yeah, and then
So
you
they
can
talk wrestling.
You can also see Adina Steele on the 10th of this month coming up. This month now.
it's
So the
all-
10th at PPW in Scranton.
Yeah, at the Mall of Steamtown.
Mall of Steamtown's gonna have some wrestling. I'm not sure what's going on that day if I'm gonna be in attendance, but I'm
Yeah.
going to
I'll
try.
be at the beach, so I will be listening.
Wrestling at a mall.
Yeah.
Is Lex Luger going to show up?
Oh,
That's the big
whoa,
question.
and a puffy shirt. I'd get out the puffy shirt.
Coco Beware will
Pirate
be
Lex
there.
Luger. Oh,
I don't think Coco
Beware.
Beware wrestles in. Maybe he does,
But
but
he's going to be there.
I think he more of like
If I do
sign out
go
reps.
and you're interested, I will be leaving directly after work on 5:30. I will come and grab
You
you.
know, usually they have like 2 people, but they didn't announce anybody else. Let me look and
Yeah.
see if there's anybody else.
While he's looking that up, another last indie news is the return of Sabal. Sabal, a little teaser post on his Facebook page, sporting a little bit of a new look. I know we were kind of critical on Sabal about his mask, and
Yeah, now it's awesome.
And
It's an
now
awesome
he
mask.
disappeared, and
Yeah.
now he's back. The mask looks awesome. It's kind of like a devil sea dog or something's going on. It's
an
got
undead pirate. I
an
guess you could say. I
undead
don't know.
pirate. It looks it's a
very
sick
nice.
looking mask. It's got some.
Oh, whoa.
Northeast Pennsylvania.
I didn't know it was a video. Okay, apparently we're gonna play that.
Get ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I don't have my.
I'm ready.
I don't know.
Don't worry about
I thought it was a picture.
it. But yeah, check out Sabal. He's coming back. Hopefully, maybe come back soon. So I don't know if he's gonna fight in a promotion before, but PPW is coming back in a couple months, right?
Outbreak.
Outbreak is coming back in a couple months.
Yeah, I think the next show was supposed to be September. Something happened to the building, so then November, and I think they might try to do one in October. So
All right.
November at the Hamburg Fieldhouse. Is
So,
for sure.
so maybe November we might see an appearance of Sabal with sporting
Yeah.
a new look and see what, he got a really bad loss and decided to hang him up. So maybe this is the return. And then in our final news,
Yeah, Coco Beware is the only star there.
I just want to say one thing, guys. This is from my juggalos and juggalettes.
Oh, what? I thought you were gonna say some cast or something.
Don't jump through this table. Let us light it on fire first.
This is Superhuman, and this is from my juggalos and juggalettes.
He's on the DL right now.
Yeah.
He pulled his hamstring doing one of those goofy jumps.
Poor guy.
But
but
he's in
he-
the big time.
He will be at his first show.
Yeah, Game Changer Wrestling. They're trying to book him.
They're
I
gonna
don't think
book
he's
him.
gonna wrestle, but
He'll
he
take
might
a
come-
bump.
he
He'll
might
probably
come
just
out-
jump through, like-
yeah, jump on a table on somebody.
He did take a bump in one of his videos. He gets
Yeah.
choke slammed.
Oh.
Takes a bump on everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he took like a bump
from
from somebody.
somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's no. You tell him, hey, jump through this table. Okay, you know.
If
Look,
he
if
starts
Nick
selling
Gage can
shirts,
wrestle David Arquette, Nick
Yeah.
Gage can wrestle
I think what
Superhuman.
he'll do, he'll sign autographs and stuff, and then like during like the Joey Janelle match, something will happen, will be down.
Listen,
and then he comes out and goes to the table.
you can shit on that boy all you want.
He built a following. I'll give him that much.
We are trying to put out content left and right. We have over 100 episodes, and no one's catching on. This dude just jumps into a toaster, and it's over. Like, That's one of you need to take one for the team.
Yeah. Jump on a
One of us
barrel,
knows what
some
he's
Legos,
doing, and it's not me.
Ugh.
You would be funnier.
Hey, good for him. Because like he's one of them guys who get like, well, what else would he really do? You know, so like
Exactly.
But that's also a very transitional show for GCW, just because they're losing so many people to AEW.
Yeah, that is going to be the
they're-
final show of Joey Janela.
And for the time being, Marco Stunt
Yeah.
they were
just
pushing.
came back from injury, and now he's gone.
Game
because they're
Chambers
both
is
AEW.
picking up a lot of steam recently.
Yeah, those Janela shows. They have Josh Burnett's Bloodsports coming up.
That's JCW.
Two.
They used
Yeah.
to just run out of Allentown. I was like, man, how are you down there?
That's
no,
all-
no,
Dude,
they
Pennsylvania
don't meet at all.
Pennsylvania has
You
a
know?
lot of deep roots when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah,
It
does.
it
There's a
does
lot of
really
wrestling out
well.
of Pennsylvania, which is crazy.
You know, yeah.
Philly itself, you know.
hmm and like, you'll learn in future episodes, and at points in time, you'll see how Brian was involved in a lot of that. You know,
He's involved. You make it sound like I did stuff.
He was.
I was in the crowd.
He
He's
went to a
booking the
lot. He
territory.
went to a lot of shows, and he met a lot of people, and he talked to a lot. And he's been there. He was physically there for that stuff instead of just watching it on TV.
Yeah.
One of my biggest claims to fame on that was I was at the Raw that broke Nitro's rating streak.
Really? Wow.
Really.
The one where
That's
they
cool.
teased Austin McMahon. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice,
how about
nice.
that?
So we're gonna do a little bit of this, but like I said, if you want to get full details, call it in the Power Ring.
Mhm.
Links below. G1.
John Moxley lost today. It
John
was his
Moxley's
loss.
first
So he
loss.
lost to like Okada, right? Or
Yeah.
Naito.
He lost to one of the best guys.
He lost to the comedy wrestler Toru Yano. So it's like, but he always has this thing. He beat Kenny Omega last year. I think the year before that he beat either Okada or Naito.
Now-
he always gets a couple big wins, but
Yes.
he's the goofball.
Yeah, he's the goofball.
And he's really, really good at being
Yeah.
a goofball.
Sorry, here's my thing. If you're upset that Moxley lost to a goofball, you have to remember in the previous match, John Moxley tried to buy a DVD off a guy. So
Off the same goofball.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's his gimmick. He hogs DVDs. He's a bootleg DVD guy.
yeah. So it is what it is. Wrestling. Here's the thing.
That's why Yano's in the tournament, because you're having such hard, grueling matches.
Wrestling.
Yano's there for
Wrestling
comedy.
has different facets. Not
Yeah.
everything in wrestling on a show has to be super serious.
And he
You-
beat him by count out. He didn't
Yeah.
like beat
You
him with
need-
his finisher
You
in
need
the
a
middle.
comedy. You need a weird. You need a scary. You need a
Mhm.
hero. You need a villain.
Skinny guy, big fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Everyone has a role to play. Maybe it balances out the scorecards a little bit.
That's a big reason why he was
that's
running
why
away
they
with that
usually do it. They
block.
always give Yano a couple wins. Yano's never going to win the G1
Yeah.
because he's never going to.
So he's the one that kind of balances people out and puts.
Yeah, because they all get the 2 points.
Because if someone runs away with it, you're like, oh,
like well, the way it runs, the person has the most points wins that block. So if
Round
Moxley would have
robin,
won this
yeah.
match today, would have had 12 points, I think. Or is that 10?
Yeah, he's at
he would have
10 now.
12. So a lot of the people that only have 4 are eliminated because even if they win their next 3 matches, they can't catch up.
yeah.
But now that he lost, he's at 10. So then Yano
It
goes
makes-
up to 6.
it
Everyone
makes-
else is at 6.
It makes
if they
the other
win,
matches.
if they
more,
win their 3, right, then they could all be tied. So it's like, ooh, they're still in it. Because
They
some
always
guys
try
are
to.
eliminated.
They always try to make sure that somebody can catch somebody else at the very last.
and sometimes
Yeah.
they do catch up.
It's like watching a race and one guy just run away and he's 14 laps ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
That loss may piss you off as a wrestling fan because it's, oh, he lost to a fucking goofball and you're building him to be a monster, but it makes you more interested in watching those other 3 matches because now they're no longer runaways. It closed the gap and one of those guys can then turn around and do something in the
like we all
tournament.
thought Naito was going to win Block B, and he still could if he wins his next 3 matches.
Mhm.
And then Moxley kind of has to lose 3 matches, but he might because
Yeah.
he was winning and winning.
And it's
So-
also New Japan. Nobody goes undefeated in New Japan.
Yeah.
Like Okada right now, if you go back in the last year, he lost a lot of matches early in the G1 last year, so he didn't make it to the very end. He didn't have enough points. But he now has, because he won...
He's at 12 points, so he beat 6 people so far.
Yeah,
right?
and he-
6, 5 or 6. Yeah, 6.
6, yeah. And he won 7 in a row after he... I think last year he lost his first 2, and then he, like...
Yeah, Jay White beat him and somebody else beat him.
Yeah, he ran off 7 in a row after
Who's
that.
the one that Jericho's after in AEW? He's all pissed off at.
Hangman Page?
No, the white Japanese dude where he's like, well, are they going to be at this thing? Maybe I'll show up. Maybe it'll be G1 or Jericho.
Naito?
Is it Naito again?
Naito's the last person he feuded with in New Japan.
Because Jericho hinted that
Then he wrestled Evil, and then he was going
you
to
may
wrestle...
see him at a G1 show.
Oh, Tanahashi.
Tanahashi.
Yeah, because he already wrestled Okada, he already wrestled Naito.
Tanahashi probably will not win. He's got about... I think he has 6 points. Okada has...
And he won last year,
What
too.
if, what if Tanahashi's
Oh, wait.
climbing up like he's going to make it, and then Jericho screws him out
And
of
then
it,
screws him out of the last thing.
and then sets it up a...
They were going to wrestle, because that's one of the people Jericho wants to
Yeah.
wrestle. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to wind up either being... I don't know about Moxley because I don't know how much Japan he's going to do.
Yeah,
once
I
he's
think-
all
well,
AEW
Okada's
full-time.
winning A block. I think he's gonna go sweep it because they keep
Ospreay?
They keep no, he can't.
Kota?
He has 2 points.
I think Naito or Kota
Yeah,
might.
yeah.
Ospreay has
might
2
win.
Yeah,
points.
yeah. He keeps losing. I was like, wow. I thought he would have been tied. It was going to be Ospreay, Kota Ibushi, and
All I know is
Okada.
he hit a Panama Sunrise, or standings Panama Sunrise, then climbed the ropes and did a really far out moonsault, and it didn't win, but it was a cool spot.
He had some good matches. The best match so far has been Okada versus Ospreay.
Yeah,
that's Dave Meltzer gave it 5.75, I think.
Wow.
But I think Okada's going to win Block A and be undefeated, and then wrestle, I guess, Naito or maybe Moxley. Moxley can still win.
Yeah.
And then Okada wins the whole thing, and then picks his own opponent at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe he says that he wants to wrestle Kenny again.
I'll tell you what,
Wants to wrestle Yano.
Yeah,
Finally.
I want to wrestle Yano.
if you watch previous
I want to wrestle
podcasts,
the Young Lions.
yeah, if you watched previous podcasts, I was not a Dean Ambrose fan.
Yeah, I didn't.
The character did nothing for me. The only time that Dean Ambrose caught my attention is when he was on his way out, and they literally said, "I don't care what you go out and say in the mic, because we'll let you do whatever you want because we want you to stay."
Yeah.
And he was able to cut promos, and his promos were actually good because he wasn't this weirdo.
Yeah.
And if you see his
I'm a
promos,
goofball.
if you see his promos before WWE, they're out of this world good.
Yeah. So
And now they're back to being pretty good. And he got that the Young Lion, which
Yep.
is basically like this put through NXT guy with him. She calls him Shooter. It's
Yeah.
Shota Umino, and like that's doing so much for him.
So he's definitely watching his matches out of WWF. He has been impressing me.
Yeah, it's much more interesting.
He's doing a great job.
So that's the G1 talk. Probably looking like it's gonna be Okada versus Moxley or Naito.
Yeah. Do
But
we
you never know.
go? We'll do this one. This should be a quick one. So AEW announced some news for their first show. So we're gonna get Cody.
Cody versus
Sammy Guevara, right?
Yeah, or Kip Sabian.
I have no idea who that
Kip-
is.
Which one was it?
Oh no, I don't know.
Sammy Guevara wrestled Kip Sabian, not Fight for the Fallen, but Fighter Fest.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first. Or not? No, I lied. Double or Nothing.
I need to get more up to date with my indie guys. I don't.
There's a lot I don't even know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard when there's
Well, that's the
25
beauty.
Yeah,
wrestlers.
it's Cody and Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of AEW.
So Sammy has this thing where he's like, he's nice to people in their face, and like when he walks away, like, what a dick.
kind of like
You know?
kind of like how what's his name was with Cody Rhodes in the
MJF, yeah, yeah.
where he's like, oh cool, thank you for
And they're
the
still doing that storyline too, where Cody thinks MJF is great. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
gonna eventually end badly for Cody.
MJF is a gold. That guy is a walking gold.
He was recently on Jericho's podcast, but I didn't get to listen to it yet. It's an hour-long MJF promo.
Really?
Yeah.
So then we have some speculation. We're gonna do some speculation here.
Yeah, they only announced that match.
Wearing my AEW is Jericho shirt, which when I wore it at a PPW show, it got a lot of heads turning. A lot of people enjoyed this shirt. You're wearing the Delete Matt Hardy, which is a great shirt.
From Rip Dak, actually, I think.
Okay, Rip T.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
it's a spoof on the
Dr. Wu.
You're
that
wearing
was
a
cool.
Doctor Woo.
So, this is a spoof on the Killing Joke cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, like
yes,
the Joker's
it is.
like, "Ah."
It is a
With
Killing
Broken
Joke.
Matt.
Yeah.
How Broken Matt be with the 24/7 title?
Yeah, that should. Well, Matt's doing the whole. It's hard to be me.
Yeah, no, it's not. But it's on internet, like
Yeah.
it's on YouTube. Like,
I think if he came on TV, it'll
if
stay.
he has one more year there, get out of there.
Yeah.
Be Broken Matt in AEW. That'd be fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Broken Matt versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. Broken Matt versus everybody. You know?
Broken Matt versus MJF.
Yeah, I'd watch
This
that.
is stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
You ever fit in with like Darby Allin and people like that
Yeah,
too?
all the hardcore horror guys.
Oh, so how about Joey Janela got into a fight with what's his name?
Enzo.
Enzo, and then they did another one where he got into a fight with who's the king of the hardcore guy that AEW had, where he stapled a cigarette to.
Joey Janela's when they got a cigarette stapled to him.
Oh, who's the guy who stapled it to him?
Was that Darby Allin? Was that
Jimmy Havoc.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Havoc.
Havoc, yeah.
So Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela got into a fight, and it's at a concert,
Yeah,
and they turn
Blink-182 comes?
and they turn the camera, and it's it's Blink-182, and Mark Hoppus goes, again, Janela, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome video.
AEW apparently
knows-
GCW is thinking about booking Janela and Enzo, so that might be the last show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very smart. So that leads to this speculation. Jericho needs 2 tag team partners versus the Bucks and Kenny
Yeah, so
Omega.
Kenny, you know what I didn't like about the match graphic? Kenny and Jericho are doing the same pose.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they yelling? Like, it's cool, but yeah, but it might be 2 singles wrestlers. I'm thinking.
Okay. All right. So if we go 2 singles wrestlers, who would you go with?
One's Pac.
Pac.
Because he lost the Dragon Gate title,
Okay.
and he's done absolutely nothing since.
Yep.
So Pac but then who else? Johnny Nitro. That's kind of like
Moxley.
Moxley, I'm thinking, yeah, because they
Then
did
it-
not set him
then
for
it
yet.
said-
He's
then
gonna be
it's-
on the first show.
Then it sets up Moxley,
Omega,
Omega, but you're not getting a one-on-one. You're
But
gonna tease the
Yeah.
tag the
Yeah.
whole time.
But they're going to wrestle the pay-per-view too.
Yeah,
so
when's the
All Out.
pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Once
That's before they're going on TV. That's
Oh,
August
okay.
31st, and then
well, then Kenny Omega versus Moxley.
October
Well, they
is-
might keep it going, you know.
yeah, I'm sure that's not going to be a one show program.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go tag team,
Well, there could be another singles wrestler in there.
I'm thinking Davey Boy Jr. maybe if you want to go to the whole British thing.
Yeah, because
Okay.
Davey Boy's not doing. I think he didn't re-sign with New Japan. He didn't sign with anybody else.
So
I think he's doing MLW, but
Yeah.
anybody can get out of
would
the
be with
MLW.
Davey Boy. Would you bring the Hart Foundation over?
Not Teddy. Teddy Hart's
Teddy,
fairly hard to deal with.
I don't know about Teddy.
Teddy, or you'd have Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh, Brian Pillman Jr.
He's already there, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in
I don't
MLW.
think
but
he's
still.
signed, but he showed up at the Battle Royal.
Yeah,
Another single wrestler. I mean, it's a long shot, but I'll put it out there. I'll speak his name, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
yeah, it's
hey,
gonna be
but
Beetlejuice.
The guy from Stern?
Beetlejuice,
Yeah, it's gonna be. We could also get the opportunity of maybe it could be a great TV bump, and it could be a great suck it to WWE. But do we get CM Punk?
No.
CM Punk does
Yeah.
not want to do it.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be in a tag. If people came back, he'd probably want to be in a singles match and be the.
But it's
I mean,
with,
it's the main event.
But it's with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see CM Punk doing that. But you never know.
Who knows?
Yeah, there's a definite never say never, but I think
Because
Punk is happy not
that
being
kind of really
wrestled.
overshines what
Yeah.
their guy is.
So
you know?
then you have the opportunity. The easy grab would be the Lucha Bros, because they're
if they put them in, yeah. But
I feel like they're doing a ladder match at All Out with the Young Bucks. I think that feels like a blow off to me, and they might just move out into like the tag title tournament.
yeah, and then with Jericho, kind of makes no sense. I know he said he wants to wrestle both of them. some
Although,
point.
thinking about Mexico, there is somebody, I don't know what his contract status would be as far as wrestling in America. There is somebody this weekend at Triple Mania, this Saturday, making their pro wrestling debut and has a big name. ESPN's going to be down there covering him. Big name existing already, Cain Velasquez.
really.
Yeah,
He's making
he's
his
gonna start
pro
wrestling,
wrestling debut this weekend for AAA. With, let me get the exact match here.
So he's no longer doing MMA.
He's still under.
I don't think he said he's
UFC
done. He
deal.
just wants to wrestle.
The
Which is
see if I
interesting
can-
because so does Daniel Cormier.
Yeah, a lot of them guys. They
Some
look
people
at,
think Cormier Lesnar might actually happen in WWE and not
well,
UFC.
They look at it and they go, well, if I can do that, and probably not take as much toll on my body, I don't have to train quite as hard.
Well, Daniel Cormier
like,
said
and make more money.
Daniel Cormier, when he transitioned from Strikeforce to UFC,
Yeah.
he was like, "Man, I would love to be a professional wrestler." He goes, "I'm going to be honest with you. I've trained as a UFC fighter. I took a week's worth of bumps in a wrestling ring, and I said, fuck that." He goes, it was painful.
Well, yeah. Well, when you're training to be a fighter, you're not actually getting, like, I mean, you do sparring, but you're not getting punched. But, you're training to
Yeah.
wrestle, you're getting slammed.
Yeah,
You know?
He said it was not easy. He said people think he goes I've done both trainings. He goes pro wrestling is not a cakewalk.
No,
And
not by
that was from
ladies.
Daniel
Yeah.
Cormier, the guy who's only lost one round as a heavyweight in his entire
how good-
career. You know what I mean?
I hope he does wrestle.
And the only
yeah.
guy, the only human being to beat him in this planet has been probably the greatest of all time if he wasn't such a screw up.
And loaded up on steroids one of the times.
Yeah, it would be John Jones.
Okay.
So, I mean, Daniel Cormier's not a slouch, and he's saying professional wrestling's not easy, but he would love to do it at one point in his career.
So I did find the match. It's a trios match. It's Tejano Jr., Taurus, and Luchador Sorpresa against Psycho Clown, who's one of the AAA big names, Cody Rhodes, and Cain Velasquez.
Well, Cody Rhodes there. What
Cody
does that
Rhodes
tell
is
you?
there.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
teaming with Cain.
Ooh.
And then a little farther up the card, you have the Young Bucks and Omega against Laredo Kid and the Lucha Bros. You
Okay,
have
rematch from Fighter Fest.
you have Blue Demon Jr. and Dr. Wagner Jr.
I would
in the
love
main event.
Blue-
Mask
that should be
versus
good.
Hair.
Blue Demon Jim would be awesome. Like some of those dudes who were in Lucha Underground would be great fits.
Yeah.
I still don't know who's Havoc. Like who's Havoc without
Son
his
of
mask?
Havoc.
Son of Havoc.
Matt Cross. Yeah.
He was on the very first All In.
I would love to see him wrestle again
He was also on
He
Tough
was on the
Enough.
first match.
Was he?
Yeah.
I loved him on Lucha Underground.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Angelico was awesome. He didn't do much for me during
He's with Jack Evans.
I will
Yeah.
always think of Matt Cross as M-Dog 20.
Yeah, and in ROH.
Josh Prohibition.
Yeah.
CZW.
Okay,
Before
yeah.
that.
King Cerno, the guy who was like the
He just signed with WWE, King Cuerno. He just
Really?
signed with WWE.
oh, he could be the next Undertaker. He's fucking huge. He's huge.
You're not talking about Mil Muertes, are you?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Miro
Oh,
Muertes.
he's
That's Jeff
old.
Cobb, right?
That's
Oh,
Ricky
no, Jeff Cobb.
Banderas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
King-
Jeff Cobb is
yeah.
Matanza.
And Killshot
Oh, yeah.
was just signed
Yeah,
to
he's
WWE.
changed Strickland.
He signed to AEW, or not AEW, WWE. He's in the
Shane
performance
Strickland's really good.
Yeah.
Mil Muertes was what was his name?
Ricky Banderas. Oh, Judas Messiah.
Yeah, Jewish Messiah.
Yeah.
Who's you think he's really big, and then he stood next to Vince, and you're like, oh, he's not that big.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was big in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus was in Lucha Underground for a while.
Yeah, apparently he was in NXT.
He was the guy that got.
trainee?
He was the guy that got Bill DeMott fired.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, I forget his first name is Austin. I forget his last name. He was also on Big Brother.
Yeah, I don't think he actually had wrestled on NXT proper.
Oh, really?
Just like
Yeah.
house shows.
It's a
and stuff.
great mix with him and Jungle Boy. It's a great
Yeah,
mix.
good for him.
So anyway, we'll go back to the speculation. So you have tag teams. Who would be there? Now, obviously, Lucha Bros would maybe be an easy
And
bet.
I said the Dark Order because they're doing
The
that
Dark
thing
Order.
where they're-
But it
The
seems like they're kind of
Super
locked
Smash
in
Brothers,
with.
yeah.
There seems like they're kind of locked in with the Best Friends though.
Okay, yeah.
So who would? Another one you threw out there was possibly a Impact team.
LAX. yeah.
LAX.
Yeah, because they're out of their contracts.
Yep.
Not the original LA. Not
Then-
Hernandez.
no, not
and,
Hernandez.
Homicide.
Another team was thrown out there was the Briscoes.
That's the Briscoe,
possibly.
but I don't know what their contract status is or ROH, but they've been there for like 15 years. Time
ROH,
ago.
they
did
always
they
seem-
did everything. They even Jay won the world title. Like
Yeah.
Mark did it, but like what more can you do there?
Yeah.
15-time tag champions. Time to go.
Champions again.
And then
Yeah.
Tony's got his prediction, and everyone loves it.
Oh god.
Oh no.
How you doing, the realest guys in the room, Enzo and
Look,
Cass?
if you're gonna bring in Enzo to your locker room, you might as well bring in Teddy Hart.
Yeah.
Bring Teddy Hart and his cats in.
And get Austin Aries while you're at it.
now my prediction to this is if you could do two birds with one stone on TV, and it would be ratings out the ass. Enzo and Cass come out. Jericho's pissed. Like, I don't want these fucking clowns on my team. Like, that's how you play it off.
Yeah.
And half of the match, maybe they get a little steam, and all of a sudden, out of the crowd come the Briscoes, and they beat the shit out of Enzo and Cass,
for the-
like they did on the G1,
Yeah.
the G1 in Madison Square Garden.
My idea is you get
Get the
Enzo
revenge.
and Cain Velasquez, and you tell Cain go nuts.
Oh,
That's my
God.
idea.
Listen, I love me Enzo. I love me some Enzo. That pop is gonna get autographed at PPW. It's gonna happen. Bada boom, the real
I don't know if they'd bring him in. You know.
I don't think
See,
so.
like, yeah, we'll bring.
I think the reaction that ROH got when they decided to
Yeah.
bring them in,
Well,
where they backed out of it,
The
turned a
reason
lot of
they
people
got
off.
that reaction is because the rumor that I was reading and I was watching is that no one knew in the back
Yeah.
that Enzo
Yeah.
and Cass were going to do it.
I don't
so
think it was-
half the locker room didn't know it was real
Yeah.
or a shoot, and then
New
the-
Japan didn't know at all.
Yeah, New Japan didn't know at all, and then it got such bad negative review that it was just like we had to scrap it because the guys in the back were pissed, and then some of the because it could have gotten out of hand because people didn't know how to react to it.
Yeah,
And-
I mean,
and
someone
I'm-
could have went out there and fucking Uncle stab him.
Yeah.
You know, that's how some guys are.
Yeah.
And I'm
We'll
glad
get
you
him,
brought
we'll get him
that
in the
up.
parking lot, you know?
I'm glad you brought up New Japan because that's the other thing too with this whole. Do they kind of work a secret? And I doubt it because New Japan wants to be above board. I think they're too honorable to screw Ring of Honor like this. But
But I
do they
think
do a
that-
backdoor deal with Ring of Honor or with AEW before the first show?
Maybe, yeah, no,
And
it's-
Jericho's mystery partners are like Los Ingobernables or somebody.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Or even if it's
Who's the guy?
Guerrillas
That,
of Destiny.
Who's the guy that? Oh, Gorillas of Destiny would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the guy that?
Minoru,
like,
he's a free agent.
Yeah.
He's a freelancer.
who's the guy that like Kenny Omega's in love with? They always joke around.
Coda?
saying- What if Coda?
yeah, and he's a
joke
bad
about
guy. Oh my
Coda
god.
comes to AEW and Kenny's like
Yeah.
shocked that
and he
he's been
slaps him in the
betrayed.
face.
Yeah.
That'd be great. But
That
who-
would be great TV.
Who would they put with them? You know, I don't know. But get back to our thing. I think New
Who would-
Japan was not so pissed that it was Enzo and Cass. They're just pissed that they didn't know.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
so pissed that they're like, I think we're done in this relationship.
Yeah.
Because New Japan's all big on respect and honor because that's how Japanese culture is.
Unless you're the Bullet Club.
Yeah, but I mean that's
And then
they
you're
own
like-
that.
But that started as
Yeah.
as a parody of American
Yeah,
wrestling.
yeah, and that's their thing. But like they were so pissed off at ROH that not once in the G1 have they said Jeff Cobb wrestled for ROH. They had no titles. Like and Juice left ROH said I'm done because he was doing both, but he was under a New Japan contract. He just went back to New Japan. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, they're pissed.
It seems
I
like
think
they might
they're
be
done.
they're getting ready to divorce and
Yeah.
get back with AEW.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Why not?
All right. Is it bad that I'm like bummed we're gonna talk about this?
All
right, so
so gas.
Raw and SmackDown.
Oh,
Yay, Raw and
Well,
SmackDown.
you know, I know the podcast has to post wrestling so that Raw was a little bit better.
I enjoyed the hell out of Raw.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Raw was fun.
Seth got his ass beat, which I'm like, yeah.
Am I a Brock Lesnar fan now?
Well, Seth is so annoying.
I
He's
feel-
like, he's a nerdy champ, and
and-
just like, that guy is the
Yeah.
champ, and like, oh, he's dating Becky, but like, they have to remind us that they're dating all the time. It's like, I kind of want to see him get beat up.
I watched
And I love the contrast, by the way, where that segment, Brock is murdering Seth for 15 minutes. He's just dropping him on a chair over and over
Yeah,
again. He's beating him up in an ambulance. No one's helping him. No one's helping him. Somebody sneezes on Roman. Here come the Usos. Here comes Cedric. Seth has no friends. And everybody loves Roman.
Yeah.
That's
Until
what he
they try
gets,
to murder
that's
him
what he
with
gets for
boxing.
his Twitter comments.
Yeah.
But I think they should turn Seth heel after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And drop the belt back to Brock. I mean, I don't know what to do with it. And just have come out like, you people didn't support me. You're just jealous because I'm with Becky and you wish you could beat Becky. And then Becky should beat him up.
Yeah.
And then he goes with, you put him with a girl that everyone hates. Like Macho Man was Sherry then.
Oh, yeah,
you
put
know?
him with Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Or not Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
would be great.
Lacey Evans, I watched Lacey Evans do a autograph signing, and she stayed in character the entire
Really?
time,
With the Southern
and
Belle
just
thing.
and like told this fan like he's a piece of
Wow.
shit.
She is really good at
she's
that
like,
side of
she's
things.
like, kiss my hand. And she goes, don't you touch me, you pig.
I think she should have stayed in NXT for like another year.
Yeah.
They pushed her too.
They wanted.
Vince
They,
was like, ooh, blonde, big tits. All right.
But have you noticed, since they lost, you haven't seen her, you
Yeah.
haven't seen Corbin.
Which is good. They needed
a break, especially Corbin.
Yeah.
He really needed a break.
I don't dislike Corbin as a wrestler. I know you're not a big fan.
Yeah, I don't like him at all.
I think he's a great heel. I think he does the heel thing great. I think he plays the crowd great. I think he's good in the mic.
I think he comes off unlikable, but to steal a line from Bruce Pritchard, the bell's gonna ring. I think it's the same problem
Yeah,
with Lacey
and
Evans.
that damn bell
He can
has
be
to ring.
guided, but
Yeah.
you have a ridiculous amount of talent on that roster.
Yeah, so why waste
and
it
you're
on
pushing
someone who's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had no storyline movement at all during the Raw reunion show. It was just a feel good show.
Yeah, it was just like, hey, look at this guy. Look at that
Supposedly
guy.
ratings were way down for this week because I guess more people were like, oh, there's no nostalgia, which is
Yeah.
is the problem because people in the back see, well, we got big ratings off nostalgia.
Yeah, let's keep bringing them back.
Let's keep doing that,
Yeah.
and
They
every
can't wrestle.
SummerSlam and every Raw or every big pay per view will have a nostalgia thing.
have a legend wrestle.
You know, that's stupid.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to get
Whose fault is it for not building new stars,
because everyone popped for wrestlers you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
Now we're probably going to get 2 nostalgia matches, one good one, and
Yeah.
one where a really talented guy is going to carry another one.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. We found out that during Raw this week that AJ would be in a gauntlet match with and find out
What do you
there would be a gauntlet match to determine who's going to fight AJ Styles at SummerSlam.
Okay, what do you think of the name? I think it's terrible. The OC.
The OC?
Yeah, it just makes you think of the soap opera from Fox.
Yeah, that's a stupid
Yeah,
MTV
just
show.
call
or whatever.
just call it the original club.
Yeah, or call them like the Rifle Club or something. Make
Yeah.
it as close as you can. The Bullet Boys.
Monday
Call
Night,
it the BC.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw.
I guess maybe you're
Yeah.
inviting legal trouble for that.
Monday Night Raw kicked off with a mosh pit tag match,
Mosh pit.
between
Headbangers
a
came
mosh
back.
pit mixed tag match with the 24/7 champion R-Truth with Carmella versus Drake Maverick and his wife Renee Michelle, which oh my God, Renee Michelle, good for Drake
Yeah,
Maverick.
little Drake.
All right.
And good for her too. She has really shown, like, she got a chance to just do like a little guest spot. She has
Yeah.
been excellent.
She's basically got
She
a job
probably
out
got
of
she
it.
probably got a job out of it. Yeah.
I know she did like the Mae Young Classic and stuff, but yeah, she's probably got herself a full-time job.
R-Truth
Oh, was
wins.
she the Indian girl? Was she an Indian?
No,
girl?
she was. I forget who she wrestled. I think she would have wrestled LeRae. It was the first one.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So R-Truth wins rather quickly. Now the catch to this is outside the ring, the entire locker room. Well, not the entire locker room, but the guys who
The losers' locker room.
The cast of main event.
Yeah, the cast of main event was
job
around
guys came out.
was around the ring, waiting for whoever won. R-Truth wins. Everyone gets in the ring, and they do a huge dog pile on R-Truth.
Yeah,
the referee counts, and whoever gets out of there with the belt is now the champion.
God.
Where it's Mike Kanellis, and he runs out, goes in the back, locks himself into where the referees are at. I'm probably jumping ahead here, but then gets told to lay down on his back so his wife can
Maria
pin him.
asked to let him in, then he's like, how do you know it's not Carmella?
Yeah.
And she said, I'm going to kick you in the vagina.
I'll kick you in the vagina. Yep, that was said on TV.
Has to be the first time they said the word vagina on Raw.
Yeah.
then Maria.
She's now the first ever pregnant
Yeah,
champion.
how about that?
Yeah.
I think someone's going to make her tap out. I was like, well, she could do that. Like, someone could put her like a wrist on. Oh, okay.
Is she
taps out.
legit pregnant
Yeah,
for life?
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I have no respect for them, too, and I'll tell you why. So they signed first time, right? And then she immediately gets pregnant.
Yes.
And then
And he had a drug
and then
problem.
he went to a rehab.
Yes.
So I'm like, well, okay, you're kind of using him. And then they treat him like shit. And like, okay, well now you have your out. Contract's almost done. Maybe take off. It was
Well,
a
they
bad.
asked for the release.
Yeah. And then he
And
get it.
WWE literally said, okay, we paid for your pregnancy.
Yeah.
We paid for you to get rehab. And now you're not even going to give us any work at all?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay,
And
we'll
they did nothing.
resign.
Yeah. But then, they resign and they get treated like shit. Well, that's your own fault. And then
Yeah.
she gets knocked up again. I'm like, okay, you're just using them you get a free pregnancy and a free ride.
Yeah.
It's
They're
brilliant. I love it.
But WWE,
That's a hustle.
So upset that people are going to go AEW that they're dumb for paying them for that.
Yep.
So it's like they're both dumb. I don't respect either of them. So like this angle I think is shitty.
Yep.
Not that she's the champion, that they treat them like shit. And I don't
She
care about
can't keep it long because the 24/7 is actually interesting, and if you just put on a pregnant girl
Yeah,
every
but
week,
what are
you're going to ruin
And
the
what are you
steam.
really gonna do? I mean, every
It's the
week.
novelty of you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
And
would
that
have to,
wears out quick.
like if the guy's right here and she opens up a door and he falls down, she pins like stuff like that.
I think that's where we're gonna get the she gets pinned while she's sleeping.
Yeah, that or she gets like someone puts her in submission because
When she said later that night that she had an OBGYN appointment on
Yeah.
Tuesday, I thought they were going to do like a thing where...
Truth has to be the
Like Dr. Truth,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is gold. That is gold. I think a woman has to beat her though for it.
yeah. Well, you never know Drake Maverick, like maybe he's the nurse or something. You know,
That would be great.
Oh my God, I
Him dressed
love-
up as like a
Yeah,
candy
dressed up,
striker.
yeah.
Oh my God! And
he turns around, he's like, nah.
Or
Is
maybe
the mask
Canellis.
on?
No, Canellis like gets it.
Mike turns on her.
Yeah,
or
Mike
something.
turns on her.
But yeah, because she has to go away then when she's pregnant. When Mike
Yeah.
probably still wants a job. I mean, well, still be around.
So then the gauntlet match: Rey Mysterio took on Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Andrade, and Ricochet. So there's your lineup. Who's fighting AJ? I mean, anyway. So
I gotta say Ricochet, but I
Mysterio,
love Cesaro.
Mysterio would get 2 big wins over Cesaro and Sami Zayn before being eliminated by Andrade.
Ray and
Yeah,
Cesaro
stuff,
were
yeah.
just
Ricochet
on fire.
would draw the lucky card of the 5th spot, and he fights Andrade and walks away with the spot to fight AJ Styles. So we're gonna get AJ Ricochet again.
And then the big thing there too was Andrade just really went to town on Ray's
Yeah.
mask. You could see,
Yeah.
I think he ripped it a little too much.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna get Andrade Ray again.
I guess at
An Apuestas match,
SummerSlam.
maybe.
The,
Well, then he get
the
hurt
rumor
less-
is it's
Ray was
hair
hurt
versus
less.
mask.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Don't
Um,
take the mask off Ray though.
Yeah, it's horrible. He looks like he's
He looks
13.
like a little kid. and
He's like
terrible.
45. He's
He's
like
21.
Yeah, he's like
He's 21 and he's been 21 for 24 years.
it's crazy. So then we had the Usos versus the Revival versus the OC for a Raw Tag Team Champions match. I thought that was actually a good tag team match.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna call them the Good Brothers forever.
That superplex spot was crazy.
I didn't see that.
Superplex to the outside with the whole group catching them.
Oh, okay. I've
Yeah,
done
that
one
was
time.
great. That was a great
I
tag.
was the one getting superplex. I'm like, oh, I don't know what's happening. This is scary.
And then at the very end, Seth Rollins fought Dolph Ziggler, which I thought on paper could be a great match. 2 good superstars.
Remember when they wrestled a bunch of times? Was it last year? Or was
Yeah,
it earlier
and
this
they put
year?
on great matches, but
But it's like, yeah.
yeah. So then Brock Lesnar comes out at the
Can't
end,
do the same
and
thing
he
every night.
beats the dog shit.
It's a shame with Ziggler because you can only get so interested just because he's been treated like dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
for-
like,
for
cool.
15 years.
I'm really excited for this. But, he's going to be a stepping stone.
Yeah, but there was a lot of people going off Brock. They were kind of like, thank you,
Actually,
Brock.
I found a really good. I just found a really good website here that can be very useful,
Oh,
especially if you've missed something like SmackDown.
Pornhub.com.
So we're gonna watch Pornhub.
Taima.tv.
All right, so then we start SmackDown. I don't remember this being the start of
moment of
SmackDown.
bliss segment too.
Yeah, with
Oh yeah. That was.
I forget. And I think did Alexa wrestle?
you had the big fight at the end with Roman and
Oh yeah, it's that new faction, Roman Usos and Cedric, and then everybody
Cedric
came
fought.
out, and Cedric jumped off the thing.
Yeah.
Drew
During
McIntyre
Raw?
saved him.
What?
Oh my
During
god! that
Raw?
he's- Yeah,
Yeah, at the
It was a
end.
big brawl at the end.
Oh, I must have fell asleep at that part.
It was like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, Cedric jumped off the top of the stage, and the only person who caught him was Drew.
Yeah. And another Drew thing on SmackDown, it's like who beat up Roman, or who's the mystery man that tried to kill Roman, or something like what?
Yeah, murdered by Bobs.
Yeah. And it's like ah.
Well, I love that people started sleuthing on that. Well, you're going to run through SmackDown, right? We'll get to that.
I'm trying to find it right now.
But the SmackDown opened with Shane McMahon saying he wasn't going to be there.
Yes.
By I think it was his life coach, the advice of his life coach.
Yes,
wasn't going to be there.
Kevin Owens came down.
And then Kevin Owens wound up wrestling a good match against Drew McIntyre.
Oh wow, that sounds pretty good. Drew needs a push. He should be world champion.
The Rock just really put him over.
Really? I mean, yeah,
so
look
Who's
at
that?
it.
Big
Drew
thing.
McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre's great, and he likes our podcast
That's
shirt.
right.
So
Yeah.
all I'm getting here for Raw is oh, here we go.
Just
It's just starting in a weird spot. So the
SmackDown
first thing it's
results.
talking about is SmackDown was very weird to say the least. I heard a rumor too that Vince showed up
Yeah,
backstage.
he wrote it.
He was
And
like a
that's
last minute
insane.
rewrite.
and said he hated it and scrapped the whole show.
Then why hire Bischoff and Heyman? In?
Yeah.
You know, why hire him?
So
I don't think both of them are gonna last long because Vince is gonna be like, I need to do it.
yeah, that's
And,
exactly
and
what's
nothing
gonna
against them, and then it'll be terrible again. And then AEW will get all the ratings.
And it was even a thing where they announced the main event was supposed to be the OC against the New Day in a 6-man. and then it winds up being Kofi and AJ later.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah. So then,
Imagine any other show you get there and you're ready to record and they go, oh, we're going to rewrite the whole episode. What?
if it was a rewritten episode, from what people said, it wasn't horrible. It could have went a lot worse.
Yeah, but like, I often wonder, how was that episode? Maybe that episode would have been good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it doesn't start off this way, but we're going to talk about it. This is the Jerry the King Lawler comes down,
The King's Court.
with Trish Stratus, and then Charlotte Flair shows up. So we talked about last week that we kind of speculated that Trish Stratus and Charlotte would happen at SummerSlam, and it is official.
I'd like to see that one actually, because Trish
Sure,
can still
why
go.
not? Trish can still go.
And Charlotte's maybe the best girl wrestler in the world. So
You brought up a great point. The chair was horrible looking.
Yeah, it looked like it was in a gingerbread house.
Yeah.
Or like a mall Santa
It was
chair.
a mall Santa chair. And then we
the
had
King didn't say puppies. It was 90s. you
yeah.
know. Puppies!
So then we had Rambling Rabbit hosting a Firefly Funhouse where he said he's a huge Finn Balor fan, and that Bray Wyatt would then Bray Wyatt appeared and said Finn, you should just let him in.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad they're still doing these, even though he appears in the ring.
Then we have the Kofi Kingston Randy Orton set up.
Which that's pretty fun.
They did like a video interview with Orton. Orton is so good because they're channeling everybody's perception of Randy Orton to make him a bad guy.
What do you think he wins the title? Real quick?
I don't think so. I don't think he needs it.
Yeah, I don't think he needs
I thought Kofi would lose that at SummerSlam, but I don't know.
I thought he would lose it. I thought whoever won Money in the Bank, I thought it would be like Drew or somebody would win Money in the Bank and cash it.
You would think.
Maybe Kofi keeps it till Survivor Series? No.
Yeah.
I think he loses it to somebody somewhere along the way, and then that person heats it up for Kevin Owens to win it at Mania.
Yeah. Roman Reigns almost gets squished by a bunch of boxes, which was the worst. It was horrible. Like you could literally see, you could watch Roman Reigns lay down and it land where it didn't, and then
the
like
camera angles, like
it was not.
If no
done
one
very
knew that
well.
was happening, how'd that camera catch that?
Bruce Pritchard was on the scene. So was Brother Love? He hates him.
It's the Undertaker. He's going to be back with Brother Love.
Yeah,
he's coming for full circle.
It was a brother. Yeah, he's going to come back.
We don't love you, Brother Roman.
You should have just stayed out and made Fast and Furious movies.
I would rather him be Brother Love than write the show. Just have his heel with the love connection. That's his heel stable.
The rumor on the internet is Daniel Bryan.
The rumor initially.
I'm okay with that.
The rumor initially was Buddy Murphy.
Oh, Buddy Murphy,
because they saw, and it might have been an accident, they saw Buddy Murphy with his back to the camera in one of the shots. That would have been a great way to really make him a player.
The easy pick is, Drew. It's like, that's a Drew. And I'm going to go back to that again.
Yeah, the Daniel Bryan thing came because The Observer came out today, and it was in The Observer that, for one thing, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns is a thing for SummerSlam, and that was to build that up. And the other thing, if you want to get into it, was the Ziggler thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so the thing is everyone thinks we're getting Miz versus Ziggler for SummerSlam, but it's starting to lean towards that we're going to get Ziggler versus Goldberg. I guess Undertaker had a chance to prove himself.
Which would you rather get punched in the face or kicked in the face?
Yeah, so Ziggler, Undertaker had a chance to show that maybe it wasn't him at Saudi Arabia.
Okay, we believe you. Undertaker.
Yeah, and Undertaker had a great match.
Yeah, best match he's had forever.
It looked like old school Undertaker. He did a great job. And then Goldberg's like, well, I want to prove that I just had a bad night.
But Goldberg was never good, though.
Never.
I was never a fan.
I never liked Goldberg.
I was never into him. I get it.
I don't.
But I like why people like him.
I remember being a wrestler. Actually, I was a very clear, draw my line in the sand, WWF guy. And when people are like, oh, do you flip? No, I don't flip. This is a Raw house. You want to watch WCW? You go watch WCW. They're a bunch of traders. This is the WWF
I like WCW, but Goldberg is limited.
Yeah.
And if you learn something from that Undertaker match that was really great, it's the guys like that who are older and limited and not what they were, and that Goldberg wasn't even anything special to begin with ring-wise. Put them in tag matches.
Yeah.
Make it like Ziggler and somebody against Goldberg and The Miz.
That's what New Japan does with all the guys that are that were world champions, and now it's like 10
Would you
years
still
after.
want to see Taker versus Sting?
No. I don't want to see Undertaker wrestle ever again. I mean, he did go with that Roman match, but I have no desire to. If he said I'm completely done, I'd say that's okay.
I don't believe him though. So this is actually very interesting,
and I don't know how much Sting could do anymore.
It sucks for this guy, but I think it's a great thing for the other guy. Looks like we're getting Shinsuke Nakamura and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, they did a match on Smackville.
Yeah,
they did
that house show that was on the network.
Yeah, and then they did a rematch on SmackDown, and Ali won.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it definitely looks like that's going to be a program. There's a rumored match coming up in. They didn't even build it, but there's a rumor that SummerSlam may also have a women's tag title match. where
True show.
It would be
Probably.
great.
It would be
It'd
a
great to
four-way.
finally have one.
It would be a four-way with the Iconics, with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, the
Asuka and Kairi.
Kabuki Warriors, and Alexa and
Nikki.
Yeah.
And then the other rumored match is
Get
Gulak and this is going to be good if they do it. If they give it time, Gulak and Oni Lorcan
Oh, yeah,
for the
that's pretty good.
cruiserweight title.
Yeah.
Get them tag belts on somebody else.
Yeah.
That's what I say. I like the Iconics.
I
but
like
they can't really
Iconics,
wrestle.
but you're not
you're not
using
doing
them
that,
right.
yeah.
At least even have them heels and have them sneak wins. You're not even doing that.
Always cheat and like somehow sneak. The
You're not
win.
even doing that.
Even what they did, get yourself counted up, but do it more
Why
frequently.
even?
Don't
Why even
defend
have
it.
the belts? You know, really?
You got to put them on TV.
Yeah.
Two other things that weren't announced there that I did kind of listen to. If I don't know I missed anything else in SmackDown, Ember Moon lost to so Bailey beats two people single handedly by herself, but then Ember Moon loses to.
So why would you want to watch it, Bailey versus Ember?
Yeah,
Bailey's
why,
just gonna win.
why do I want to see that
Yeah.
now? I think that's a terrible thing to do to Ember Moon.
That's bad booking.
And
you,
then the
you
only-
have
and then-
you have Ember beat two people.
Yeah,
and then Bailey beats one person. And go, I beat two. I'm coming after that title.
And then the only reason she's even there is because she had a quick, cheap roll-up pin on Charlotte. So you're making it look like Bailey is a monster versus someone who really has no shot.
Yeah, so
Which kind of makes it sound like she's winning the title.
I would
Yeah,
love
way
it.
they
you
book
never
Ember.
know with their logic.
I love it because I love Ember Moon.
Oh, she's great.
I think she has the best finishing move in wrestling, and I just think she's super sexy, and I think she's
I think that match
super
has
sexy.
total show stealer
I think
potential.
she's super sexy.
She's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
I mean that's
and she's a huge nerd.
yeah.
like she's just
she's a white girl. You never
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah, then another thing that was interesting that I was watching on ups and downs is last week on SmackDown we get told that Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are getting a tag shot. They're
they
going to
said-
get a match, and if they win the match, they give a tag opportunity, and the match never even happened.
This is what they said.
Yeah.
One of them
Well,
said,
that's the whole show being
"We
rigged, I
have
think.
tonight. We have a tag title shot. And if we win, we get a tag title shot."
Yeah.
That's like that AEW thing where like,
What?
oh, the winner of this match
Yeah.
gets a chance at a first round bye at a tournament.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they recorded that live and they just didn't. Fuck it.
Yeah, and that match never happened. And then the other thing that was
I
strange.
think they would be a good tag team. Well,
Yeah.
it's good tag champs.
And it's a weird chemistry. Like it looks like Sonya Deville wants to take advantage of Mandy, but Mandy's kind of playing her. But
Yeah.
she's not. She's gay, but she's doing the whole thing where I like when girls hit on me at bars because it turns guys on.
Yeah.
It looks. That's literally the angle that it looks like it's going. And
Eventually
then,
they'll turn on each
then
other.
then the other angle. I think Sonya Deville will be amazing singles. Dana Brooke has a new gimmick
She's
where
like-
she's trying to fork out the crowd.
She's like a exercise coach, weightlift.
I like
something.
Dana Brooke, but
It's something
not,
for her.
it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's a Simon Dean.
That is one of the. That reminds me of one of the most obscure. I think it was maybe even on only one show where they had Stephanie McMahon's personal trainer.
Oh, what was
Muffy.
Muffy? Yeah, Muffy.
What if
And it was so bad
What
they
if?
scrapped it.
Dana Brooke is down there doing her flexing, getting everyone fired up for exercise. The Firefly Funhouse music hits, and the Muscle Man dance comes
Oh,
down,
that'd be
and he
something.
helps her do a workout.
Why not?
And then it's like, well, wow, we actually got weird, like,
And then-
Firefly Bray Boy, like,
Yeah.
because then you can mess with people like, well, we're gonna get because we only get him on
like
on the
Mick Foley.
Titantron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he physically come down to the ring as Bray Wyatt, and then the Fiend something?
I would love to
I
see
like
him.
how they're messing with people.
Yeah.
I would love to see him wrestle like an opening match guy, maybe like a No Way Jose or somebody. When he comes out as Bray Wyatt in the sweater, shakes hands, wrestles clean, beats him clean, like helps him up and everything. And like No Way Jose's just waiting for that shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Like, when are you going to turn on me here? And he doesn't.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be amazing.
Like completely two different characters.
But the thing is, if you did that with Dana Brooke, everybody'd be like, "Oh, this means Dana Brooke's going to be Sister Abigail," because every woman has to be
Yeah,
Sister
yeah,
Abigail.
She
Yeah.
dyes her black and she's just
didn't Paige actually buy the rights to Sister Abigail because she was going to do it, and then it never went through?
The rights would all be WWE.
There's a whole
Yeah.
weird thing with that.
I think maybe they want it. Maybe Paige would do it, and then they just
Yeah.
got hurt or whatever.
I know they.
I think she's gonna wrestle eventually one day.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really young to be put on the shelf
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. And then we get the Fiend. He comes down and does a little weird thing with Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Finn Balor gets super kicked and the match over. Is there anything else I missed on SmackDown?
Not that I can think of. Nothing huge.
Okay.
The main event was AJ and Kofi non-title.
Yeah. So because we're not doing the whole week thing, we will have a summer. We'll do the
Next
pro
week,
wrestling.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, the next week
Scorecards.
on Friday we will do the
And
pro
then when you
wrestling
go over, I
scorecards.
won't be here, but that's alright.
Yeah. Well, you won't be here next week, right?
No, next week I will be.
Then when we
the
go
week
over,
after I'll be at the beach.
All right.
Yes.
We'll have you. We
some of them
can
watch-
have you. We can have you call
I
in.
get to watch SummerSlam at the beach.
Yeah.
actually. And the G1 finals are actually at the
and
beach too.
take over.
Oh shit! That's Friday night, isn't
Yeah.
it? Or we're leaving for no wait.
No, Saturday.
Saturday is it?
Yeah, I think
Saturday,
it's
take over
wow.
Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one live.
Yeah.
I say watch take over the SummerSlam. I watch that whenever.
So the card for that, the TV or the takeover card so far is going to be.
Oh, actually, hold on. I have something here real quick. So I'm gonna. No, she asked, "Are we done?" I said no.
There's a lot of wrestling. Who's that, Heidi?
No.
It's not somebody else. Oh my god.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Who's calling in? No, I'm joking.
Dana Brooke.
That's gotta be Ken.
It's gotta be Ken.
NXT Takeover special, and they did not disappoint. Tag team partners turned. Rivals Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong face off in a main event this week, while Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes look to advance in the NXT Breakout Stars tournament. There's a lot to talk about this week on this NXT Takeover. I am reading from a website. I'm using one that's called the Last Word on ProWrestling.com.
I think that's Ryan Satin's.
Yeah, Bree escapes with the win, and Fandango returns.
Yeah, and
hey, good. Why not use him?
Breezango's going to be an NXT team for a little bit.
He looks great in this photo. So it kicked off with Prince Petty, Tyler Breeze versus the third man of the Forgotten Prince Pretty, not Petty. Tyler Breeze versus the third man of the Forgotten Sons, Jackson Ryder, and set up a 2-week little trash talk between the two. Early on in the showcase, it looked like the match for the Enforcer, the Forgotten Sons, Ryko controlled with size and power.
He's the big guy. Out
Yeah,
they all look the
Gunner.
same. He's the Gunner. The Forgotten Sons I really don't care about.
Yeah.
Like,
But Fandango helps Breeze.
yeah, it makes it maze. That's been recorded for a while because I've seen the
Yep.
picture of it. Good way. Good for him doing something. You know?
Grimes advances to the finals.
It's Trevor Lee, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
TNA. A couple of guys that I'm not familiar with at all.
He's a true heel drawing, so he's.
There's what's his name, Dexter Loomis or something. He has like a madman gimmick.
Oh yeah, that's Sam Shaw. He was in Impact too.
Really? Yeah, I seen him. I was like, that's kind of cool.
He was one that was like crazy. He was stalking Christy Hemme for a while.
Kristen, she was so hot back in the day.
Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim trade words in a face-off.
Yeah, like they've been doing a thing where Mia Yim has been systematically taking out Shayna's friends.
Cool.
She slammed Jessamine Duke's arm in a locker. She went after Morena.
That's cool.
And
that should be a good match.
Then the Bruiserweight ends the streak of Roderick Strong.
I didn't know Roddy had a streak.
Yeah, they said he's been doing really well, I guess.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, like I said, I don't watch, but that's pretty much what happened on NXT. According to this website, it looks like they do skip some stuff out, so if we missed, I do apologize.
So that's all leading to TakeOver, where TakeOver you're going to have Candice LeRae and Io Shirai.
That should be great.
Yeah, big angle there.
I like to see Ricochet's girlfriend wrestle, the girl from Ninja Warrior.
I don't think she's quite ready yet.
She's still.
Yeah.
They're going to have her wrestle Io, but then they did a quick DQ, like Io beat her up for like a minute, and then they did a run in. But yeah, she's got all that athleticism, but she's still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
But then you have a tag title match, Street Profits against Fish and O'Reilly.
Okay.
You have a 3-way for the North American title, Velveteen Dream.
I'm gonna pee real quick. Go right to the topic then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Velveteen Dream's going to be going up against Roddy and Pete Dunne in the 3-way.
That should be pretty good.
That should be excellent. And then you're going to have the women's title matches, Baszler, Mia Yim. They've been doing a great build-up for that. The main event, for the third takeover in a row, the main event's going to wind up being Adam Cole and Gargano. It's another 2 out of 3 falls match, but they're doing the whole
stipulations, right?
Yeah, they both got to pick a stipulation where Gargano picked a no-holds-barred match, which is classic dumb babyface.
Yeah.
Because every time he has one of those matches, he loses. Like, he got so crazy against Ciampa, and then he ran his head into something and lost. So he picked the one match, he loses. And then you have the second match. Adam Cole just wanted a straight-up wrestling match.
Yeah, I want a pro wrestling match.
Because if I can beat you, then you're not Johnny Wrestling. And then if there is a third fall, which there's going to be a third fall, William Regal gets to pick the stipulation for the third fall. Yeah,
he comes out, it's a cage match. Oh, there's a cage up there. I didn't see it all night.
But that's the main card. And then I guess that finals, they're thinking that was originally announced for the takeover, but it might be one of those things they tape before the takeover for the NXT they do the week after. Yeah. But that's going to be ACH. I forget the name they use for him now against Trevor Lee.
Jordan Miles?
Yeah.
Because I think his name is Michael Jordan and Miles Morales. That's how I remember that.
And then, it looks like that's going to be the big things. But who knows? With NXT, the big thing now is that they're possibly going to FS1.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I kind of wanted to be a network thing, but I mean,
and I also
if
think
you're getting a show and you're getting money.
I also think this is a bad time for it, just because it's such a transitional time for NXT.
Yeah,
you have so many people going up now, and it probably is time for whoever loses that Gargano Cole match to graduate.
And it's not the Undisputed Era long for that. Same with Shayna.
Yeah, they've had like they have a lot of great wrestlers at the top, but those guys at the top have been at the top for a long time now.
Yeah, that's the only problem with NXT. It's like, well, it's still the underneath training thing, so you gotta.
Yeah,
but then no one wants to see him move on because then you're usually used terribly.
Well, Ricochet, I think they're finally getting it right with Ricochet.
But he's like Aleister Black. It's like he's cutting them stupid promos.
Oh, that was something we missed on SmackDown. Was Aleister Black is back in his dank dungeon.
That's a guy you just never have him talk. Just come out, beat the shit out of people, and leave. That's it. Who can beat Aleister Black?
That kick looks so great too.
It does.
That kick.
He's a good wrestler, but don't have him talk.
But it seems like it's going to wind up being him and Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. Sami Zayn wound up calling him out. I don't think it'll last long.
No.
I think Sami Zayn's going to eat a boot.
Maybe he talks the whole time. He just takes the kick and that's it.
Yeah, that could be it. That would be great.
He's like, oh, throws the microphone.
Yeah, at SummerSlam, I think they have like 14 matches planned for it, so it's going to have to be short.
Oh my.
Like some of them are going to be
take a break halfway through.
Hopefully Goldberg and Ziggler's not long, because if Goldberg goes more than 3 minutes, it's going to hit his head.
5 minutes tops, right?
Does Ziggler
do the job? Yes.
Does he go out and William Regal him?
Oh yeah, he'll make him. Why not? I think he's probably just there and like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
he's kind of a.
What if Ziggler, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg?
Yeah, he does.
Oversells everything.
What if he had Kira Maeda's Goldberg?
Should and look like an asshole?
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, so tonight's topic. You guys, I don't want to cut you.
No,
So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about the network. So the network just had an update. I didn't have really much to do much with it.
Overhaul, I guess you could say.
Overhaul.
Right, it looks more like Netflix.
Yeah. So here's the thing. A lot of people are like, "This is fucking bullshit. I'm going to cancel my subscription now because it doesn't work on my ancient device."
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. A lot of times you're getting lucky with Netflix and Hulu, but I'm guaranteeing it. Give them a little more time.
Yeah.
They're not going to work on your old device anymore.
They also changed the guts of the network. Their provider. Yeah. They used to use BAMTech, which is what MLB used. And Disney owns that, and that's going to be the framework for Disney Plus. But now they're working with Endeavor, and Endeavor does UFC Fight Pass. They own UFC, so there's actually a new system under the network too right now. So
realistically, to go buy a brand new streaming device, it's going to cost you $30.
Yeah,
do it.
You
upgrade
get the
your
bottom,
shit.
Yeah,
upgrade it. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll upgrade it.
Most new TVs are smart TVs. There's gonna come a time when the TVs are only smart TVs.
Yeah.
So.
My thing is, you just need.
If you're watching on an Xbox 360,
you need to listen. I understand it's okay to complain about the product. We all know it's not the greatest.
Yeah.
But hopefully, it does make a change. But to just complain about every single thing that happens is
That's
getting annoying.
People that are miserable.
You wanted Becky, now you had it.
You got Becky, yeah.
Now you got a Kofi.
I mean, yeah, she's kind of pulled off.
You're getting bored with Kofi. You wanted Seth. Now you don't know what to do with Seth. So the same thing. Everybody pushed for Ziggler for a while, and then he was getting his push, and you start booing him. Make up your mind. It's annoying. But anyway, the network. Some updates. It's a different interface. The streaming the streaming looks better from what I was told.
Some of the search things, I didn't.
Searching is working better.
Yeah, and you know what? When you go in the search bar, it shows little thumbnails of what's happening. So that's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
One of the things I like if you're looking at older stuff like the Vault, you can actually see different segments.
Yeah, you can skip to the match, which is cool. They did have that before, little dots.
Yeah,
But now it's like you can even just go to a certain match. Like if you're in the menu and you're looking at an old WCW Saturday Night, they'll show you what was on there, and you can jump right to it from the very beginning instead of having to start at the start.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder to search for things. So they have I was like, well, where's the WCW pay-per-views? Because they have superstars and WWE pay-per-views.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to I think it was in-ring.
And
then it shows WCW. And
it's like WCW
and territories.
Before we get
superstars page.
Before we get too deep into this, I want to put something out for you guys. The same thing we did in our for Not Cool in high school. We do know you guys listen. We know there is people who I don't know who you are, but I can see the numbers.
You don't know who you are?
I know.
You don't know why?
I know you are listening. I know you watch because there's watchers on this. It tells me that so many people watch and so many people finish the entire episode. What I'm just begging you is just give us some feedback, good or bad. If you hate us, tell us what you hated.
Yeah.
If we said something that bothered you, tell us.
You
know what I mean?
What likes and what you don't like.
If there's things that the first ever feedback we ever got for the show was from a fan was I like when you fantasy book, and we've been doing that more because we know at least one of our fans enjoy it. You know what I mean? So when it comes to topics, every week we scramble what we could talk about, but we don't want to keep doing generic topics.
Yeah.
So give us some ideas. Like, hey, I'd love to know what you guys think of this wrestler, or maybe do some like kind of how we did Harley Race. Maybe we'll do like a breakdown of a legend and talk about his accomplishments, or even break down an indie guy and bring light on people. So there's a lot of things we can do. Just help us out a little bit. What do you want to hear?
Or Final Fantasy booking.
Yeah.
Who would you get to play Cloud?
Yeah. And then another one as
Tyler
well
Breeze.
is we
Tyler
want to
Breeze. Totally.
Yeah, we want to talk about, maybe we're going to find, we did find on the internet is a random match generator.
Yeah.
Where we're going to randomly generate a match.
There's a lot of matches on the network.
And we'll go and watch it and see what
and
we think
review
about
that
it.
match, yeah.
Maybe we'll end today's show at a random match.
Okay.
And then go from there.
Pull that match generator.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
It might get something wacky.
Yeah, so I'll do
It
that.
might get a
It's
Smoky
going to wind up being a
Mountain.
Royal Rumble. We'll be here until midnight.
Yeah, we won't do it tonight.
Okay.
We'll do it. We'll do it
watch
at
it
our
for
own
next
time,
time,
and
yeah.
then talk about it next time. Yeah.
That's cool. But anyway, there's a superstars page now. You can like your favorite superstars, and you can save them. Like, so you just go Seth Rollins and save it, and then you click on his profile. It actually has like the little bio.
Yeah.
And it goes to links to matches and stuff, which is pretty cool. But the only problem with that is when you search for it, it always puts you right back to the beginning. So if you click on Superstars Current, it's alphabetical order. You're going down to D, Dad, Daniel Bryan. You go back, you're back at A.
Yeah, there's definitely some quality of life, user
So it's
friendliness
like,
things.
I
that
gotta
can
say-
be-
and especially for alumni, everybody in wrestling's a WWE alumni. I mean, Jusha Liger's on there and everything. So I mean, like, anyone who's on the network is an alumni. It's like, you got another name to search because you're not going to go all the way down to get to Zeus. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, let me
Maybe if you really like
yeah.
Zeus.
Let me like Tugboat here
my
first. Oh, I'm at the
God.
beginning again. So I mean, but it's a cool idea. The Superstar page. I added a bunch of people. But you know what I think they did do? You know how the network before you could have it on like 10 people, like 10 people could use it once. I think now with the tier thing coming out, it's only on one thing at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Like because I kicked like a bunch of my friends had it, I kicked them all out.
Oh,
And I'm like, you know what? So you used the password long enough. You know, I'm the one paying for it, so
Yeah.
it's mine now. I mean,
All right, I got our match. We'll talk about it at the end.
and Tom McGee.
What
been unearthed.
what about the network are you a fan of so far?
I like.
Let's talk positives.
I like the Superstar page thing. That's pretty kind of cool because so you like I went first to AJ Styles and had him, and then you can click on his matches, and then if you
Is Kenny Omega still on the network?
he's got one match, yeah.
Yeah,
so
Deep South.
You might be able to. You might not have a Superstars page because a lot of the jobbers don't.
Yeah.
You know if they just have one or two matches, but they'll come up in the search bar.
Does
Okay.
Iron Mike Sharp have one? This is very
He
important.
should. I'm gonna
Oh,
look that
yeah.
up. That's pretty cool. The new setup looks cool. Maybe the pay per views it should say pay per views, and then we could actually say WWE, WCW, ECW. Make it a little bit rather than just WWE pay per views. Because
Yeah.
if you see that, you're thinking, well, WCW ain't in there.
Yeah.
Why should I click on that? Where's
exactly.
it at? You know?
Exactly. So one of the big things I did put on the page, and I made a goof, and I kind of looked at a page and posted it and thought it was real. I put a old post
tier.
of
When they
the tiers.
was rumored
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
That is, it's still a rumor. They are.
So they are going to do that. They are going to do a free one.
Yep.
So that's like YouTube videos and like maybe Raw and SmackDown like 2 months later.
Yeah.
And then the current one, they said it'd probably free, a current one, and a super one. So
Yep.
3 total.
Yeah, probably free, $9.99,
Yeah, but-
$14.99.
Yeah.
What would have to be on the super one for you to be like, I am in? And
There's
I'm gonna-
one thing that they said that Triple H went to Japan and was talking to the Stardom, which is the girl wrestlers. If they had that, I would pay $14.99 just for that.
Or DDT.
They beat the shit out of each
DDT.
other, them girls, and they're usually hot and like.
Yeah.
I want to see that. And he was talking with a Dragon
Evolve,
Gate.
ICW,
yeah.
yeah.
So they got the Japanese ones. Like if they get Progress and Evolve, I'm kind of like, I don't think I'd really add that. But like if they
Stardom would be interesting.
But if they get a bunch, then yeah.
Do you think with the, I know this is not part of the topic, but do you think with the recent collapsing of like, ROH is starting to be on their downslide? Do you think WWE slides in and goes, hey, I know you guys are having some issues. Why don't you?
There was talk about that like a year or two ago.
Why
They were
don't we
looking.
just take your shit?
It's like ROH was at a point when it's like they were so hot, and then WWE's like, oh yeah, well we can't get that, we'll just make our own. That's what NXT.
Yeah.
So it's like, but now it's like ROH is kind of like it's in this slump. Like, is it worth it?
Losing the AW
Is it,
guys.
is it
really
worth
hurt
it to get Jay Lethal?
It's worth it for the library, I think.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you can get those old Samoa Joe
Yeah, maybe
matches,
that's you
those
get
old
that-
Punk
you can do all
matches.
that. Put on the
you'll
network.
have
Danielson.
You'll have your old Daniel. You have your old Steen. You'll have your
Yeah.
Generico.
I mean, there's a lot of
there's
the back catalog is worth more than the current product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Same thing with Impact. Same thing with
Yeah.
Impact. If
And
they
didn't
could-
they get most of the old Impact that they wanted?
No,
Didn't they get TNA stuff?
no.
No, Global Wrestling or Impact Wrestling Network, they're trying to sell their own streaming
Yeah.
service. They're not going to give everything they're trying to sell to WWE.
See, I thought they made a deal when they got the whole broken Matt Hardy that they could put TNA
TNA
on the
just
network.
said that
If they let them use footage, it's not going to let them
Yeah.
have access to the whole
They said that
library.
anyone who had a name in TNA could use it elsewhere. That was it.
Okay.
And they still kept all the TNA.
Okay.
And they've let them use like clips for AJ Styles stuff,
Yeah.
but they're never going to, unless they like buy the company.
Yeah, unless they go out of business and then there's like,
Which I
"Where's
mean,
TNA?"
that company, there's a price tag because there was
Yeah.
that rumor where they tried to get Tony Khan to buy it
Yeah,
instead of
he was
launching
like-
AEW. He's like, no,
Yeah.
Whoa.
your name has negative value.
Yeah.
What if what if Vince is just like my last ditch effort because we have all this Saudi Arabia money? Is just I just go buy ROH for their catalog and maybe a wrestler or two. Like Jay Lethal could
Jay
be the next.
Lethal.
He could be the Booker T. I
Yeah.
don't care about anyone else. I just want maybe even the Briscoes.
I look at that. Yeah, maybe they would take the
The
Briscoes,
Briscoes.
and then turn
them-
around and say, "I'll take TNA or Impact."
You get
Yeah.
Roche for a little bit, but he's going to be a free agent soon anyway.
Yeah, and I think he'd probably be out of there.
You could probably snack like so you would get
PCO, that'd be. Put him
Oh
back
yeah,
Austin
Brody
Aries.
Case.
Yeah. Well, Austin is he? He's not.
No, he's an Impact.
not
Yeah.
Austin Aries, Ace Austin.
He's an Impact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, right now like they're bleeding carcasses. It would be
Impact's not doing too good. I mean, they were doing good, and now they're back down again. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know what to,
away.
I don't know what to do.
Oh
with-
yeah, so it'll go away every 30 seconds. So
Oh.
until we get done, it might change again.
Oh, well.
We had Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna.
Oh, from
King of the Ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
I watched that one.
So
your buddy's in that match.
I wonder who won
no,
that
I don't
match.
think it was him.
what was
I
that?
think it was Harvey Whippleman. The Hulk Hogan Yokozuna King of the Ring was the camera with the fireball.
flame, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And people thought it was Jim Cornette. People thought it was, but I think it was Harvey Whippleman that was actually playing the cameraman.
Japanese cameraman.
So depending on where this ends, we're at right
the
now.
worst WrestleMania of all time.
Raven versus Shane Douglas.
Ooh.
Oh, it just changed again.
Why does it change?
It changes every 30 seconds.
Oh,
yeah.
well,
So
well,
I kind of like
go
this.
back. I don't.
I like this. I
Yeah.
like this a lot. You don't know where you're gonna
Wait,
end up.
Raven against Shane Douglas from where?
ECW.
Does,
Oh,
it,
okay.
does it say
Yeah.
with the show or and everything? I
Yeah,
guess that when you
so
click
right
on it.
now, here's where we are. We're at the finish of Kevin Sutherland versus JC Wilde in NWA Championship Wrestling in 8/6/1988.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
No
so
job match.
that's where we're at right now. We don't know where we're gonna end. We're gonna
Is
end.
this going to wind up with a multi? That would be
yeah,
great.
Mulkey Brothers.
So network-wise, is there anything that impressed you that he didn't talk about?
Just the ability to kind of see what is on a show. Like I love watching the old stuff. I love watching like old WCW, old like Mid South, and just to see the exact matches that are going to be on a show before you load it up, before you
Yeah.
see that same tap out commercial for the 50th time, just to see what's on there before you jump in is a good thing. I think.
Yeah. I didn't see it yet because I can't give any positives. I do know what's not on it, and that was my most requested thing. So
I'm sure Enzo has a superstar page.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, Enzo has to have a Enzo needs to be on the backdrop of the. No, I'm joking. So what I really think it should have is, I think we should have, if you could binge watch. So I want to start when this. So I want to watch from Raw 1, then watch Raw 2, Raw 3, Raw 4, Raw 5, pay-per-view, Raw, beginning
Like
of
the
SmackDown.
year
That would be
review.
good.
Yeah, so like I want to watch.
Chronological order for
I
that
want to watch
company.
from like when Raw started on TV.
Yeah, in chronological order.
Then in chronological, so like episode, so it literally goes from episode 1
They
through.
can have that be like WWE year in review.
Yeah.
Or year in what it's
Yeah.
watch
It's a playlist,
95
yeah.
straight through.
Yeah, but I want it to be a thing where it says, okay, now we know you're here. The next Raw, this is what happens in between is a pay-per-view. So it puts the pay-per-view in there.
Yeah.
And then it says, oh, this is the induction of WCW. Or not WCW. This is the beginning of SmackDown.
Okay,
So now
but
it goes
yeah.
Raw, SmackDown,
Yeah,
pay-per-view.
yeah.
Like, I want to watch it in that order.
They should have that stuff.
I think that'd be real. Or even like WCW when Nitro started, like Nitro 1 to the end of Nitro. Like, it'd be
Yeah.
cool to watch the runs of
Yeah.
it.
They should have that.
Yeah.
What I really want is more primetime wrestling. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
my show.
that's-
Yeah.
You know what I think they should what the network before the network was called WWE 24/7, not the title, and they had the Monday Night Wars where they would play both shows and then talk about them like
Yeah.
at the week. They have that.
More
Yeah, I would
more
love that. I would
exclusive
love, like-
content. I think their exclusive content's really good.
Yeah, well, they said. Did you see that the Big Show show? It's gonna be
No.
on Netflix?
That's going to be on Netflix.
Yeah,
The Big Show show.
it's a sitcom where like he's raising his daughter or something like
Yeah,
that.
he's got to go back home with his 4 kids. He's done wrestling, and now he's just going to be the wacky dad.
Yeah, the Big Show show.
It's
And I
part-
think it's like what 13 episodes or something.
yeah,
like that?
it's part of their deal with
10
Netflix
episodes, yeah.
now.
So hey, why not?
Because WWE Studios is doing stuff with them.
So You want to end it here?
Well, I guess we're done talking.
Oh, no.
It just changed.
What match is it?
It just changed.
Oh, never mind. Enzo and Cass versus Sheamus and Cesaro. Raw replays. Raw 1242.
Oh God.
I'm glad I'm not going to be here next week.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Enzo Raw.
Take a screenshot before it changes.
Raw 1242. So we're gonna review not just that match. We're gonna review that Raw.
The whole Raw, really?
Yep. We're gonna watch
That
Raw.
might be a lot of. That's 3 hours of Raw.
We'll take what's good and we'll take what's bad. We won't go match for match, but we'll take what's good and what's
That
bad.
might be a lot of bad.
Yeah. So we won't
I
just
don't think you
focus-
want to do that for some, like, if we get a random, like, old territory thing, you probably don't want to review the whole show.
You know?
Yeah, because it's, yeah. The match thing might be a little bit better. It might be a little time
So we'll
consuming
just
to
say
do
the
whole show.
Enzo Cass match.
Yeah.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Who's that big tall dude?
That is big. That looks like Aiden English. So this one is
It
Luke
looks like he's
Gallows.
7 feet tall right
I
now.
don't even. Yeah, this one's Luke Gallows versus Big Cass versus Kofi versus Aiden English.
You have that thing rigged to just do big cast matches, don't you?
No, I do not. Now, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a twofer because I kind of like this. Like we could do that match and maybe a little bit of that Raw.
Because something like
It's anything that might catch your eye from that Raw.
Yeah.
Just check
sometimes
it out.
like you get a match from like a WCW and the rest of the show's garbage.
Yeah.
You know, so like.
So we did Holly Race.
Mhm.
Let's throw a wrestler out there. Past, present, future. I'll let you pick the first one. And we'll do-
so someone on the network.
Well, yeah, it could be network or anything. It could be New Japan.
Because
we're
it's
gonna
kind
bring.
of hard to find.
We're
like,
gonna
for
bring a
everyone
spotlight
for
to
New
somebody.
Japan.
That's what we're gonna. So we're gonna do a spotlight wrestler, and we're gonna do a little bit of their background, maybe their accomplishments, where they came from, and that'll be a topic as well.
See, not
Yeah.
everyone has New Japan Worlds.
That's
I
fine.
feel like.
I'll do I'll do research on like Wikipedia and stuff.
I mean, there's some. Then I'll pick Okada, Kazuchika Okada.
All right.
Kazu.
I thought you were gonna go Yano.
CHIKAOKADA. And I can write it in Japanese if you want to.
All right, that's our
He's
spotlight.
a world champion. Okada.
Just go through his whole TNA run
Oh,
as
no.
Okado.
Yeah.
As Okada?
Just ignore
So
that.
that's
didn't
our
happen.
topic. We're gonna talk about. That's hilarious that it just ended up being an Enzo and Cass match.
From Enzo Cass to Okada.
Yeah, so
What
it's
a
gonna go
difference.
Enzo and Cass from Raw 1242.
Yeah.
and then we're gonna do a superstar spotlight.
Like if
on
you go
Okada.
to YouTube and just type it, you first watch top 10 moves of Okada.
Yeah.
And then you could watch best matches. And then,
Mhm.
of course, the trilogy with Kenny Omega, which is one of the big things.
Definitely
So-
up there with some of the best drop kicks ever in wrestling.
Yeah, like Bob Holly, Mr. Perfect,
Yeah.
Okada.
So
Dropkick.
the other thing I want to talk about, and then we're gonna end here.
Always like Paul London's too. the drop salt.
We'll take turns then picking the wrestler that we spotlight.
Yep,
You know?
100%.
So next time maybe Austin. Or
So we're gonna do. I want to talk about one last thing that I'm gonna do for the we're gonna do for the show. I bought a subscription box.
Mm-hmm.
This is very exciting.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
So I've bought. I've bought.
It's already been bought already.
So I have purchased T-shirts from this company before, as well as probably many other wrestling fans. Shirts are pretty expensive.
It's Pro Wrestling Tees, right?
Pro
Behind
Wrestling
us.
Tees. They're like $30 a shirt.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I don't know if this one was before or after they bought Barbershop Window.
Yeah.
This was a Barbershop Window shirt.
Yes.
That's the problem with it. A lot of times they whack you with shipping's like $8. Like, ooh, come
Yeah.
on, guys.
So it's like
you
you're-
gotta get that free shipping.
You're almost like $40 at one point
Yeah.
if you're getting a shirt.
You
And then
got-
I like to do the mystery shirt, so it comes out to almost like $42, and
But
I'm only
like,
getting two
ripped,
T-shirts.
$13 shirts, $2 shipping.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know, you're 15.
Exactly.
In and out.
That's so a way for me to get around that, and I still get some cool wrestling
Mm-hmm.
shirts, and I like that surprise every month. Is I found Pro Wrestling Crate.
Now, how much is that a month?
Pro
Is there
Wrestling
different-
Wrestling Crate has 3 different prices.
Okay.
So the main price is, I believe it comes out after tax. I think it comes out to around $39 with shipping. So I think it's a $29.99 a month box.
Okay.
And then after shipping, it goes up to about $39, almost
Yeah.
$40. Maybe it's like $42. I could be wrong. Right now, they're having a deal where you can get 20% off your first box with coupon code INDIES. So the one I'm getting is
How do they
called
spell indies? Because that's a big dispute.
INDIES.
Okay. Some people do that and some do Y.
Yeah. So this month's theme is Best of the Indies 6. So I guess every other one that people talked about when they did Best of the Indies was
Yeah.
very, very popular. This box is going to feature superstars such as the Lucha Bros,
Okay.
the Villain Enterprise, which is
Pro.
Marty, Brody, and Flip and PCO.
Yeah, Flip just joined.
Zack Sabre Jr., Jeff
Okay.
Cobb, Zack Sabre Jr., who will be on Retromania.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb, Colt Cabana, who's also
Colt
on
Cabana.
Retromania. So when I guess when they say it's going to feature these, it's going to have something related to these wrestlers.
Yeah, maybe not everyone gets the same. I wonder if everyone gets the same exact box, or if
I'll go into a second what's in that
maybe
box.
I'll get it just to see, and I'll see if we get the same exact thing.
I believe you do. I think the autograph may be different. Spoiler alert, you get an autograph.
A lot of these things will like try to just clear whatever.
And you get a shirt, you get a keychain or a hat, or the little. Did you see the little wrestlers, like the little squishy thing? They look awesome.
So you get now it's going to have the rise of women wrestling. Okay. I think this is going to be a DVD, but it's going to have Kylie Ray, Toni Storm, Tessa Blanchard,
Ooh, I love Toni
who you
Storm.
wrestled,
yes.
Tessa Blanchard, and more. And then it's going to have something that's going to feature the New Hart Foundation, Brian Pillman Jr., Teddy Hart, and David Boy Smith Jr. So if I was going to make a pick, I'll get into that in a second because I don't want to spoil it. So I'll get into this first. So what you get with your box?
Do you always get a T-shirt?
You get 2 T-shirts.
Oh, really? That's worth it for $40.
Exactly. 2 T-shirts full price at that company.
Yeah.
You're spending close to $50.
Yeah, I mean, like you're picking out what you want there, but still, it's a great deal.
And not only are these T-shirts, but they're 2 exclusive T-shirts that you cannot buy once again from that website.
Oh, okay.
So the shirts you're getting are exclusive shirts, and you will not get them again.
And plus, you might get an indie guy that in 5 years is on TV and is a huge superstar.
And sometimes they put guys who were once indie guys and then sell you their indie version of their
Steve
shirt.
Austin. You know what I mean? Steve Austin. Carlson T sells his shirts.
Then you get 2 T-shirts, an autographed 8x10 by a legend or independent superstar. You get a custom-made micro brawler, which is the little figures.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I love them.
You get an exclusive collector's pin.
Oh, some of them pins are sweet.
A DVD, and then a random mystery fun collectibles.
Oh, like maybe a mug or Macho Man glasses.
Yep. So last month's box. I don't know the theme.
I heard Lucha Bros. I thought masks.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Lucha Bros comic. They can possibly get that.
They have put a mask in before.
Yeah.
There has been a mask in a box. So Ciampa was a shirt, and then Switchblade was a shirt.
Oh, cool.
Last month. It was a Kevin Steen autograph. Now the one here is him flipping off Generico.
Okay.
The one I seen when I watched online, the guy opened it. It was just Kevin Steen, and it said Kevin F. and Steen.
Okay.
And it was autographed, actually Kevin Steen, not Kevin Owens. Marty Scurll villain socks, a Roddy Piper shoot DVD.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
A Raven micro brawler.
Cool.
A Jake the Snake Roberts pin, and then every box you get 10% off your any purchase from Pro Wrestling Tees. So what I think I'm going to do is every time we get a box, once again, we need feedback. We want comments. We will give you the 10% code.
Oh, see, now I'm scared though. Now I'm scared because you said Jake Roberts. And I'm thinking that the snake's going to pop out of the box. Like SummerSlam.
It was a really cool pin, too.
The pins are very good.
Yeah, actually. I'm a pin guy. I like pins.
Like, I like pins. I don't do too much with them, but like...
Yeah, more of a submission guy.
Yeah. They're pretty cool.
Now, there is more. It says, do you have a cruiserweight wallet? Keep your money in the bank.
Oh.
I get it.
See how they did there. They have a package called Cheap Heat. Which is hilarious. That is $9.95 per month plus shipping, and that one you get an autographed 8x10, still very good. 2 or 3 exclusive collectibles from the month's crate. So, say if you get the socks, you will get the socks. If you get the
the cup or something,
and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get the autograph and 2 or 3 collectibles for $10. Then the next package is called the mid-card package. That is $14.95 a month, and you will get one of the exclusively designed T-shirts, and you will get the 8x10 autograph, and then 10% off your order. I think both of those you get the 10% off each one. Some of the stuff I've seen in there, I'm just going through real quick. Looks like 2 autographs were in this one. It was Sabu and Bob Holly. It looks like a Latino Heat shirt in this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Macho Man Randy Savage T-shirt with the RVD autograph. A Kenny Omega shirt that looks like Mega Man.
Oh, nice.
And a Young Bucks autograph, which is that's pretty wild. If you get
that goes,
I like how there's like it's still AEW, still New Japan stuff.
Then I guess this was a double shirt one. This was Jake Roberts and
I hate Jake Roberts.
Trust me.
Gore.
Rhino, remember Spear, Gore.
But it looks like Gore. Oh, it is. It is a Rhino with barbed wire wrapped around it. It's really, really cool looking. A Demolition shirt.
Ooh, I want the Demolition shirt.
Yeah, the Demolition shirt's really cool.
Oh, that is very nice.
Disaster.
Walking disaster.
I'll put these pictures. I mean, you can go to Pro Wrestling. You can go to Pro Wrestling ProWrestlingCrate.com and see this. The King of the Death Match, Terry Funk versus Cactus Jack shirt. So this was making me nervous. I don't know if these are past crates and they started doing this later, but a lot of these crates are only showing one shirt, but it says you get two. So maybe that's something that changed. Here's an awesome Andre the Giant shirt.
That is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
With this big afro.
And it looks like a Colt Cabana. This one's a cool crate. So this one came with the Colt Cabana autograph. It came with the best of, it looks like the G1 DVD. It came with a Joey Ryan comic book.
Oh, nice.
It came with two. Actually, this one has two. So maybe for a while they did two autographs, and
Maybe,
now
yeah.
they
Or maybe
do.
you get a bonus
now
one.
you
Is
get
that Kamala?
Kamala autograph. Yeah.
And it's very authentic because I can't see his legs.
So I think for a while there they were doing two autographs, and now they switched it from two autographs to two T-shirts.
And one up. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Because a lot of these are boxes, past boxes are showing one T-shirt, two autographs. Cool Pipe Bomb and Jim Cornette. I would not want a Jim Cornette. I don't like Jim Cornette. Maybe I'm the only one. But
I like Jim.
I
really-
get why you don't like it. He's very outdated, and
he
especially-
just hates everything that he's not a part of. Like
But-
if he didn't do it, it was horrible.
But at worst, he is the third best manager in the history of wrestling.
yeah.
Oh, Vader.
A really cool Ricochet shirt and an awesome Vader shirt.
Rivera, nice.
Yeah, it looks like Vader.
What is that?
With it
Dawn
looks
of the
like,
Dead?
no, it looks
Oh,
like
it's some-
Captain Grayskull, maybe, or the He-Man with the skull, the guy with the.
Oh, yeah, Skeletor, yeah.
Skeletor.
That is a menu for Rivera Steakhouse. That's very cool.
That's cool. Remember Steakhouse, the legendary Japanese steakhouse all the wrestlers went to.
Yeah. There's a cool. Look at that God shirt. That one came with the mask. God.
That one's cool,
Yeah. Terry Funk,
Who's
Funk
the
You
girl?
shirt.
Or is that Jake Roberts? Is that a girl or is it Jake Roberts? I can't tell.
You never know. That one came with a Glacier DVD. If you're excited.
Maybe
for
it's
that.
Cheryl Roberts.
Yeah.
It's on Rick Rude's
You get-
tights.
yeah, you get the
Here's a
tights.
really cool shirt. So it gave you the all elite wrestling shirt,
Well,
and then
I-
it gave
I
you
seen the guy wearing that.
the
That's pretty
Bohemian
cool, yeah.
Rhapsody one. Yeah, and that came with I don't know her name. The Kylie.
Ray,
yeah.
Kylie.
Yeah, she doesn't do it for me.
I think she's
AEW. I guess that was the AEW
patch.
box patch. That
Yeah.
was really nice.
Well, this is Pro Wrestling Tees, right? So they have that tight
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah.
The chief merchandiser is the guy who runs Pro Wrestling
Yeah,
Tees.
what's his
Yeah.
name? Shrug or something like that? Or I forget his name. What they call him.
One of my favorite people that works for them is their
I hope she's coming with you.
analytics guy, Mookie,
Oh,
Chris
Mookie.
Harrington. He is the nicest guy.
Heidi,
And
He's
I'm-
on a lot of podcasts too, Chris.
you can go.
He did WrestleNomics.
Okay.
We're just about to
Yeah,
wrap up.
you can go
You can go
and not come back.
Take the dog
I'm
out.
not coming back.
Take the dog out.
He did WrestleNomics for Voices of Wrestling, and he knows his stuff.
Yeah.
He does his research.
It's Scrumph. Scrumph is-
So I'm gonna get the crate. I don't think we might not open it on the show. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna
we could always show it off then.
yeah
Like a
we'll
side
we'll
video?
show it off on the
Maybe you
thing.
can make a video of you open it though whenever. You know?
We're gonna make the video and put that on the Facebook page,
Yeah, there you go.
like we do on Not Cool in
Yeah.
High School. So when Andy, like we
a very
do,
good idea.
we do the
Very easily.
when I get my fright crate. So I get a fright crate that I open on Not Cool in High School, which is all horror. Andy gets a video games monthly. We
Now,
do
Is the wrestling once a month or is it every 2 months?
every month,
Oh, okay.
every single month. So every month I am adding. You do the math.
2 wrestling shirts?
Two, 4, 6. Oh,
That's 24 shirts?
6 to 8 shirts a month. Do you get 2 per month? 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's well, two per month. So like 12 months, 24 shirts.
See, the thing
Yeah.
is, as this grows, you can just sell your own ones.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, hey, you might get one that you say I don't really like this guy.
Listen, and here's the cool thing too,
That'd be
man.
good for a giveaway.
Yeah, we have opportunities for giveaways.
or maybe you get one you already have. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, they usually don't happen, but maybe like let's say you got one of the Jericho ones you already own. you
Yeah,
know?
which would be tough because they're all exclusive shirts.
Oh, but if they are exclusive, yeah.
yeah. So maybe if there's one that's really really cool and you guys commented like I really like that shirt,
Yeah.
maybe we'll do a cool giveaway, or maybe we'll give away little
Like
figures.
if I got it and there's a wrestler I just didn't like him, I still take the shirt. You know?
Well, if Andy gets it, then you'll have an opportunity to get a medium.
yeah, medium.
and
Mike
then,
Bennett
Extra
shirt.
medium.
yeah, and then if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get it,
just
you have a
someone else
chance
has
for an
the Mike
extra
Bennett shirt.
large. So.
So we can have the what's his name, the RH champion, Matt Taven. You want a Matt Taven shirt?
Yeah,
You can
So
have that one.
Andy,
have that one all day long.
Andy puts 2 boxes to the show. He does the Japanese treat
Yeah.
box, and then he
Which-
does the.
that gets caught in there behind.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like last time I got 2 once.
Yeah.
So
I need to bring any of them for the show.
Yeah.
And then he does video games monthly. So he has 2 boxes, and then I'm now bringing 2 boxes to the show. So if anyone else that wants to get a box, you're more than welcome.
Yeah,
and we can
there's
do
so
we
many
can do box
boxes now.
openings.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm gonna have a box of cereal in my house. or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
I bet there is a cereal month.
There is.
where-
There is.
I thought I was getting one for my cat. That was like cat toys.
Ooh, corn
Oh, really?
flakes.
Yeah. but
Well,
it was a lot of the same similar
Loot
stuff.
Crate
so.
does a pet crate.
Really?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I don't know if it works
This was called Kitnip Box.
Yeah, this one gets a pet T-shirt. I wouldn't put a T-shirt on a cat.
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
Lady actually used to get T-shirts, so me and Lady used to get the same T-shirt. When I used to get Loot Crate and Pet Crate.
Oh,
we
nice.
get the same.
Oh,
yeah, so like
okay.
if the Loot Crate theme was like space,
Yeah, she gets.
and
space
I
shirt.
got like a Spock shirt,
Mhm.
she got the dog version
No,
shirt.
that's kind of cool.
It was cool.
Some dogs don't wear.
She
that
loves
stuff.
shirts.
Really?
Yeah, if you put a shirt
yeah.
on her, she loves it. She loves bandanas.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why she always wears a bandana.
Bandanas.
But that'll do it. We're gonna wrap it up here for Tornado Tech Podcast. Like I said, I have a lot of editing. I'm gonna start the editing, drive Brian
Okay.
home, and then come back and do the
Just
rest.
don't know if it doesn't get up right away. No one's gonna be upset.
Yeah.
It gets there when
Um,
it gets there.
It could be Saturday night's main
Yeah.
event.
Yeah. But just know that there's a lot of work going into. You guys can enjoy this because
Yeah.
we're doing it. We
It-
could have
it ain't
easily.
easy.
I could have easily done we'll do it every other week, and editing wise would have been a dream for me. But I'm very grateful that you guys give me the support you give me and give us. I apologize. That's a terrible way to say it, saying me. But give the support you give us. So I want to give back to you guys. Even before, like how you guys really support interviews with everyday people. We're almost up to 9. We're just breaking like almost 1,850 people on Facebook. That used to be 3 interviews a month. I'm pushing like four out a month, and sometimes I'm even doing ones on Tuesday. So just take that into consideration. So this week I did a show Sunday for Bangin' Beers, edited it, got it ready. Interview Monday, interview it's ready on. That was yesterday. Actually, that's tonight. Then Thursday.
But you only release the
Yeah.
interview shows once a week, right?
Sometimes, but this one I have 2 interviews in
Yeah,
one week.
but you can just bank them up. You know?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I really could. But then people are like, "Well, I did the interview. I want to see it."
Well, too bad.
Yeah.
Then you could come edit it and post it.
Yeah. So then I did another interview Tuesday night. That one's already done, up and out. Did not
Wow.
get much sleep this week. And I was fighting. So remember I was talking about. I was fighting the ear. I thought I
Yeah.
had an ear infection.
Yeah.
So I go to the doctor's today. I leave work. My ear was in so much pain. What's up?
Are you still going?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
What, do you need something?
No.
You want to talk wrestling?
Heidi, who's the hottest wrestler right now?
Hi. Yeah. Who's your
Looks-wise.
favorite wrestler? Come here.
Ah,
It's a new segment.
Listen, we are doing important things right now.
This is important.
What are you doing? Oh, you're picking a bandana? Oh, lady's picking her bandana. Who's the best looking wrestler right now?
Boy or girl?
Boy or girl? All right, give us one of each.
All right, yeah.
Heidi's pick of the week.
It's like such a
Don't take your time. Yeah, take your time. It's not audio. We're not, and you're not on camera, so this is great
I
content.
like Rusev a lot.
Ooh, she's a
Wow,
Rusev.
Rusev. Where's he been? Okay, so Rusev's
Yeah,
your
where
guy.
has he been?
Okay.
Is the question.
Are you gonna go double whammy and go Rusev and Lana?
Probably.
That's your pick this
Okay.
week. All right, that's Heidi's pick.
Okay. Heidi for-
Rusev and Lana. We will.
Rusev, Lana.
Yep. Where was I at? Ear infection. Thought I had an ear infection. Thought I had a ruptured eardrum. I don't know what I did. It was very painful. And like a typical man, I was like,
Go to the
I'll just
doctor.
sleep it off. I'm not going to the doctor.
It'll get better eventually.
It'll eventually go away. I'll keep pouring peroxide in my ear. It'll be great. Stop it. You knocked that off. We're live.
She's telling you it's a bad idea to do that.
Yes.
Smile back
She's
at
looking
us.
out
So
for you.
I go to work today, and I said,
She went to the doctor.
I can't physically, because I have to wear
Yeah.
earbuds at work. I said, I can't do this anymore. I can't. It
How can I
hurts.
possibly listen to Murder My Dude with one ear?
Yeah, it hurts so bad. I can't do this. I leave work. I go to the doctor. I said, please tell me it's an impacted something, because
Yeah.
if it's a ruptured eardrum, I read it's like 3 to 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And I have no hearing in my left ear, 0.
Oof.
And it was like no hearing, and it was very painful. I go there, and she goes, you have a massive buildup of wax.
Oh, wow.
I said, well, thank God. She goes,
Yeah.
all right, it's going to hurt. Oh, it did. It hurt coming out.
I can
This
imagine.
thing was, I have a picture if you really want to
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
He has a wax baby.
Yeah, it's, you want to,
Yeah, you put shit in one thing.
oh yeah, you've seen the picture.
How big was it? About the size of a dime?
It was
It's about
big.
the size of a loot crate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a huge blackhead.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was gross.
Ugh.
And it immediately came out. I was really sore earlier today, but I
Yeah.
feel really good. That's why I have the
Yeah.
earphones on. So yeah, I
That can throw off your balance and everything.
it was
man.
Yeah,
bad.
vertigo.
It
yeah,
was
a lot of
real
that
bad,
stuff.
man. It was not a good. So I went to the doctor. I gotta start doing that more. But that'll be it for Tornado Tag. So we got a lot of cool stuff this episode. We got Heidi's pick. We have topics already. We already have
Heidi's hot pick of the week.
Heidi's hot pick of the week. That's the Heidi's hot pick of the
You gotta
week.
introduce her to Okada.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sonata.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a lot of Kota Ibushi. There's a lot of good looking
She picked a couple.
Oh,
this
Coda's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think she went with her favorite right away. She's a big Rusev and
Okay.
Lana fan.
Hey.
I want to get her the Lana is the best shirt.
Okay.
Because she bought me a Rusev shirt, and
Okay.
she has her own Rusev shirt.
Okay.
We were big Rusev Day people. Yeah, I was really happy we got that. I need to get an Elias shirt. That's my next goal.
Oh, really? Same.
I went with the one that looks like the concert.
Oh, that one's a cool
That was
shirt. I don't
pretty
like
cool.
Elias
Yeah.
at all, but it's a cool shirt.
I like him. I think he's a cool look.
I want him to be in the WWE Films version of the Randy Savage story.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
He kind of has that look, and he can throw a nice flying elbow.
Heidi said that.
He has a great look, but like
Yeah, the
in
wrestling's
the
not
ring,
completely
about
there.
two out of 10.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really low.
Yeah, he sucks. Admit it, he sucks.
Elias,
the elbow's nice. but that's-
Elias and Drew McIntyre. Heidi said both look like guys from romance novels, like
Okay.
like
yeah.
the cover of
Yeah.
romance novels. Yeah, but it was a good episode, man. I really enjoyed that one. For coming in winging it, that was good, man. We already have topics lined up for next week. This is good. This is really good. I'm pumped. Yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. Like I said, interviews. I'm pretty much back to being booked till October now.
Yeah, wow.
Bang and Beers, I think we're almost booked. I have like 2 openings from now till October for Bang and Beers. I think I have 1 opening for interviews.
Oh, wow.
So we have a lot of content coming, people. Like, we haven't even hit our year yet, and we're up over, combined with every show, we're over 100 videos on this YouTube channel.
Wow, how about that? That's
yeah,
great.
so we're pumping it out.
Prolific.
Yeah, so check everything out in the descriptions. Continue to support, not just support us, support everybody else. Just do me a huge favor. When you go to those pages and you support them, leave a comment and say, hey, heard about you guys on Tornado Tag Podcast. So this way it brings awareness that we're not only we want to show that we're showing love on our channels as well as they are for us. And if it shows our fans are now supporting them because of us, it gives us a little cheap heat. Not a cheap heat, cheap pop. Give us a little cheap pop, and it shows like, hey, we're actually we're trying to support everybody else well, and that builds up really good connections, and that could possibly lead to us working with other people as well.
And
So-
speaking of cheap, what if I remind everybody that you can see 8 bands for the low price of $25?
$25, 8 bands and 6 comedians.
Yeah.
That's 14?
25 on the 25th, right? Or is it 24th?
The 24th.
24th.
I keep thinking
24th.
So that's 8 bands and 6 comedians. That is less than $2 an act.
Yes.
Yeah, how about that?
And 2 of them are national acts, and
Yeah.
one of them is doing their album release party.
Yeah, so you gotta ask if that's named after Metroid. That's
The
last
Mother
boss.
Brain.
That's
I
last
will.
boss Metroid.
Yeah, I will ask that.
We wanted to like video
the hell's
games. Video games
Metroid?
are for idiots.
Actually, two of them, I think at least one is a pretty big old school video game
Really?
nerd. So